Sunshine Monet.
Excuse me, give me that mic. Thank you. Anyway, first and foremost, I would like to thank myself for being amazing. Thank you, self. I would like to thank all the people I had to step on to get here, because you know, heat rises and a bitch is hot. I'm up to the top.
Less Nobodies presents Unica Monet's first children's book, Show and Tell. Find out what happens when a teacher uses her class's show and tell time to give each student an opportunity to share some facts about the culture where they're from. Read with your children and discover that it is time for parents to teach young people early on that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength.
This for the gentrifiers. This for the gentrifiers. Papa Legba, Yeshua, Ilegua, come out, Papa Legba, Yeshua, Ilegua, come out, Papa Legba, Yeshua, Ilegua, come out. 'Cause this is our land. Yes, we was here first. They came here on a boat. They'll leave here in a hearse. They'll leave here through the dirt. They're going through the earth. We're channeling their ancestors to undo their curse. 'Cause once upon a time, we all could read and write. That legalese is lies. Strong men spelled cursive ties. Strong men all caps disguise. They've gentrified our lives. We've redefined their sights. We've redefined their kind. Yes, this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. This shit here is voodoo music. When you chant, they gonna lose it. Yes, this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. Yes, this shit is voodoo music. When you chant, they gonna lose. When you chant, they gonna lose. Which ancestor you gon' choose? Play their game, but by our rules. I'm Queen Annie the Maroon. I am Queen of Dongo. I am Queen of Zinga. I am Yenaga. I'm Carlotta and Fermina. 'Cause this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. When you chant, they gonna lose. Which ancestor you gon' choose? 'Cause this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. When you chant, they gonna lose. Which ancestor you gon' choose? 'Cause I am a goddess. I am a priestess. I chant these mantras and they all repeat it. If we make a promise, this land we gon' seize it. Get vengeance for Mother Earth treason. This ain't the gentrifier. This for the gentrifiers. This for the gentrifiers. This for the gentrifiers. Repetition of empires. Invading land with gunfire. Slavery not hostess for hire. Income not what you desire. Outcome working jobs for hours. Mindset waiting to retire. Never stop working for dollars. 'Cause this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. Which ancestor you gon' choose? When you chant, they gonna lose. 'Cause this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. Which ancestor we gon' choose? When we chant, they gonna lose. Ashe, I mean, my spirit guides come in with that sin. My ancestors defend. I got that juice to transcend. Ashe, I mean, my spirit guides come in with that sin. My ancestors defend. I got that juice to transcend. 'Cause I am a Santi, I am a Sata, I am a host, I am a homie, I am a Tamba. Yes, I am a Tamba. 'Cause I am a Santi, I am a Sata, I am a host, I am a homie, I am a Tamba. Yes, I am a Tamba. Yes, this is juju music. This shit here is hoodoo music. When we chant, they gonna lose. Which ancestor we gon' choose? Hey, choose. 'Cause when we chant, they gonna lose. Which ancestor we gon' choose?
Mess with the wrong witch, and she knows it. And now you know it.
manifested by elements ethereal. I knew of terrestrial material, intertwined celestials of imperial, infiltrating corporation of oppressive cereals. Resilience is something like a miracle, observing kinfolk and draconian material. The more equipped for ascension, the more one seems to be treated as inferior. Dr. Umar said, the white man's heaven here, Asian man heaven here, Arabic man heaven here, but the black man heaven fit. The black man heaven fit, cause it lies in death. Release from the karma debt, release from all the stress, release what we don't confess. In order to live, I guess we must be bodiless. Makes me wonder, if we made out of greatness most fit for this plane, then why we the most hated? Why we the most hated? Was I in court waiting for my sentence? Listening to a witness accuse me of unfitness to remain in these cosmic dimensions? Is that why we repent and we ask for forgiveness? The hours and days, they feel repetitious. Oppressive energy soaking up my minutes. Purple haze blowing smoke on my grimace. Another nobody traveling out of limits. Exiled from cosmos as penance. Or maybe this time it's just an intermission. Like Jesus' chapters that went missing. Traveling and gaining knowledge between the dimensions. Christ consciousness bringing me ascension. Kundalini flows up, now is where my intentions. So don't cry for me when my time is risen. Sing some praises, cause you know that I made it. And know you're all my extensions. Yes, you're all my extensions.
Yay, I'm here. Peace, y'all. Let me know if you can hear me all right in the comments. Don't have me sitting here talking to myself and then my sound all messed up because y'all be leaving me hanging. I don't like that. Okay? See, the kind of friend I am is if you have a boogie in your nose, I'm going to tell you. Right? That's the kind of friend I am. So those are the kind of friends I need. So if y'all can't hear me, I'm all messed up. I look a little crazy. Sunshine, you look like alfalfa out here. You gotta let me know. Y'all really be having me stinking out here. I had a bone to pick with y'all. That's why this is the first thing coming out my mouth, because y'all left me hanging. I be looking at old videos like, oh, y'all ain't even say nothing in the comments. That's wild. That's wild. I know where my loyalty is. Where's yours? Let's talk about it. Anyway, peace, y'all. Welcome to the Planetary Forecast. I missed y'all so much. It's been like 2 weeks, right? Sounds great. Gracias. Yeah, I know on IG. Y'all can stay quiet over there. It's cool. I don't care. Anyway, I'm so happy to be here. I feel great. You know, I just drank like a whole blender of like sea moss, coconut water juice. I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm living my best life, you know, trying to recalibrate my diet to, you know, my Leo that's rising. You feel me? So peace. Welcome to the Planetary Forecast. So we finna get started. You would have thought that like the whole time while the music was playing, I would have like the PowerPoint up and all. That's not what happened. Yeah, that's not what happened. I'm getting it together now. And we're here. How y'all feeling today, though? How was that Capricorn moon for y'all? How was y'all feeling under that moon? And then let me know what y'all moon sign is, if you want. You don't gotta let me know what your moon sign is. You can let me know what your moon element is if you want to go that route. Y'all don't gotta tell me all y'all business, especially y'all don't gotta post all y'all business up here either. Gotta be careful who got your information. Peace, y'all. But for me, I got some placements in Saturn. Like my outer planets are all in Capricorn. So, you know, my outer self is ruled by that energy. And so it was really like a big rest time for me. I was chilling. You know, my moon is in the earth sign too. So, you know, it was really time to chill and just like build as I chilled. But it wasn't really like manifestation time. It was more so like, you know, relax, you know, manifest from the throat chakra and chill out. Don't do too much else, like relax. And yes, I did get a little hard-headed because the Leo rising, I'm a child always, and that's what we do. So I was like, you know what? I am going to rest, but I'm going to go over here and do this. And it was my leg. It's my leg, y'all. Every time I don't listen to the resting and the fully, my leg is like a super sensitive sensor right now for rest and not resting. So I am slowly learning how to be extra careful, which requires going back into my root chakra, where the sixth house of health, daily wellness, and routines is at here. And I have to create new boundaries and restrictions for myself, like go sit the fuck down somewhere. So that's where I'm at in life. Hopefully you guys, enjoyed going back down to your Babalao, your root chakra energy, and creating new boundaries and stuff. Being a Taurus moon, being that fixed earth energy, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Being having that cardinal earth with your fixed earth might have pushed you a little bit, but if you really tapped into like just being in the earth element period, you probably was chilling. We usually chill in the full like earth energy that's really tapped into the earth. It depends on what your surrounding, opposition planets are, which is water. So not water, it's air, because it's fire and water, earth and air. So if you have a lot of air placements around you, it kind of taps you out of the earth. But like if you had a lot of earth placements like I do, you probably would have been, slowed down more so, like just chill. Cancer, the water moon, that's beautiful. Yeah, so the cancer energy is the cheat code, because whatever the moon is doing, that's what you're doing. It is like, that's a nice little cheat. I like that. It's definitely time to spend some more time outside with your moja. Definitely. So I know that I have like a lot of new people, whether you're on Instagram or the other platforms and stuff like that, tapping in. Welcome to the Planetary Forecast. So what I do is this is a lot of downloading in the beginning. Me just giving y'all an overview. As far as starting off on what is a natal chart, for those of you guys who do not know, these are the planetary placements when you're born. So like all you living beings out there have an electromagnetic field, and you're so infinite that all the physical beings that live on you and in you and around you, down to your organs and the systems, all of them have electromagnetic fields. All of them have different facets of self. So it's not just the physical self, it's also mental, emotional, spiritual, sensory self, etc., etc. Like an example would be like, say you're nervous about something, right? Nervousness is a non-physical facet. However, that nervousness can result to physical things happening, such as your heart racing, maybe you're sweating, a funny feeling in your stomach, digestive issues, your blood pressure getting higher, or getting lower, depends on how you deal with your stress. But those are the different physical aspects to the non-physical sensory. And then you can have the reversal, whereas like you have a stomach ache or you have some type of physical ailment and it's giving you a non-physical reaction. So that's how you align here. But here we talk about your natal chart, which is a snapshot, because the planets, everything is always moving all the time. Nothing is ever sitting still. So we just try to get like as close as we could possibly get with a snapshot at the place, the day, and the time you were born. What kind of electromagnetic field was forming around you in the cosmos? And we talk about outer space, not so much as upper space, but it's really cool that our visuals are upper. Don't forget. I know y'all was watching the theme song. All conspiracy theories is welcomed here, because I'm very in alignment with the crossroads, and I accept all perspectives because all of them are actually pretty valid. It really just depends on where you're standing from. I could be looking down and see you guys moving circular. I could be looking sideways and see you guys moving spiral. I could see a dome, or I could see a bubble, or I could see, it's different perspectives here, when we let go of the arguing and tap into a SAR, it is what it is. And that's been the vibe lately with a SAR, right? Dealing with the SAR moon that we've had past the past few days has been awesome. So yeah, I also get into, not only do I get into the transit chart, which is what I'm going to do with you guys now, I also get into your tropical, which is how you think things are supposed to be, the imaginary 360-degree circle with the 30-degree spaces, etc., etc. I get into the Vedic, which is your vibrational self, the vibrations you attract into your space. I get into the nakshatras, where you get into behaviorals and and different events in your space. I also get into the draconic, where we really get into your Akashic, spiritual DNA decoding and things like that. I really been loving doing the draconic charts. They have been so fun and so opening for myself. Being able to dive into these different realms of you guys has helped me dive into the realms of myself. So I really appreciate y'all, for the trust, for allowing me to do those kind of readings. I also do progressive readings. So like, just how the cosmos are always moving, you're always moving, you're expanding and things like that. So, you have the snapshot of what was happening in the cosmos when you were born, but let's talk about, how you've expanded since then, energetically, cosmically. So all that matters. So you can get into your progressive chart that shows how much you've progressed since then, etc., etc. So those are all the charts. And then we get into what are chakras. Well, I actually kind of got into that when I got into your physical and non-physical stuff. So we don't really need to go here, but you guys can, just read over some of the vocabulary. Chakra meaning wheel or circle of life. They're your main energy centers. We associate them with deities, planets, planes, seas, oceans, orishas, colors, zodiacs, animals, herbs, numbers, letters, sounds, etc., etc. All living elements of this universe, Everybody is a chakra. Everybody has infinite chakras. We are infinite beings. The goal is to take the coiled energy at the root chakra of self, of the community, of our space, etc., etc. Everything is inward and outward simultaneously, and all of those things have root chakras. So you want to take that coiled energy and release it into those energy centers or those wheels, activate those wheels into an equilibrium. Not so much as overactivity, but an equilibrium, which is the goal here. And then these are really dope visuals that I like to use that align the planets with the colors, with the Netarus, with the Orishas, the deities, and then the Kabbalah. And I've been talking to you guys a lot lately about Keter being at the crown. And that is supposed to be actually the energy of Asar, which is associated with it's associated with like that Aquarian energy. It's going from sphere 0, sphere 9, 10, and then back into 1. It's closing those back up together. So I like utilizing the Kabbalah because the way the Kabbalah is set up is like the roots are in the cosmos. So it's learning to be rooted in the cosmos instead of rooted in man, which is what we're indoctrinated to do here in this space, which is why everybody's like, I'm only human. We're only human, and human nature and animal spirit. And, oh, that's just how men are. And, oh, that's just what women do. No. We're divine beings. Let's cut that conversations out. If you're going to sit at this table, a certain kind of dialogue we got to engage in. And that's not it. That's rooting yourself in the human experience rather than rooting yourself in the cosmic experience, which is what we're here to do. Not everybody, but if you're sitting here and you listening, more than likely this is what you're here to do. So we also refer to the chakras in your chakra system in alignment with the Kabbalah, as far as each chakra being ruled over one planet and every planet ruling over 2 zodiacs. The crown chakra is where it gets heavy, as only one celestial body rules the feminine side, which is the moon ruling Cancer, and only one celestial body rules the masculine side, as the sun ruling Leo. And that's why when you're around a Cancer or a Leo, you feel a heavy energy, either in the feminine side if they're Cancers, or in the masculine, outward side if they're Leos, especially if they're in the space of overactivity. You know what I mean? So these are the zodiacs. All this on this side are all feminine energies, and all these on this side are the masculine. These are the ruling planets, and then the name of the chakra, and then the energy of each chakra. And then, like I was telling you guys, you can simplify your planets and your zodiacs and your houses to elements. And it's just simple science. Pull the magician card for a second. How does earth and water come together? Well, water, if the water is strong enough, it can smooth down the edges of the earth. It depends on how strong and stable that earth is, how good those boundaries are, how good those walls and restrictions are. Is it to a point of stubbornness? Is the water needed, etc., etc.? You have those dialogues with yourself. Same thing with fire. How does fire interact with water? Water usually, quenches out the fire. How does fire act with air? Air usually makes the fire bigger. How does fire interact with earth? Well, it could be a couple different things, but more so fire and earth together can do the lava thing, the hot rock. I'm fire and earth. I am lava. I love it here. I love to be hot earth. It's fun and it's a bit malleable, I am learning to embrace the water side of me in my draconic chart because I always took pride in the fact that I didn't have any water in my chart. And then I went to my draconic side and was like, oh, so everything just gonna be Scorpio. So everything in my spirit is Scorpio and Sagittarius. So, I'm really, walking in my power, especially as my progressive chart starts to ignite my draconic chart, which has been so interesting moving into it so far. The amount of fucks that I no longer give is wild. And I love it here. I couldn't wait to get out of that Libra energy in my progressive chart. Let me tell you, that Joan had me in situations I had no business being in. Keep giving to people. Oh, that's a crazy people pleasing energy. Oh, take it away. So I also get into astrocartography as well. This is when we get into where the planets are and not just over yourself in that specific place that you were born in, but also like over the entire map as we know it. Every area had a different experience with those specific planets. So you get an idea of the kind of experiences you will either implement and or absorb in different parts of the world, also reminding you that these Orisas and circles and things like that are also associated with different parts of your body. And as we get into the planetary forecast in more depth, we're going to get into that as well. This is the model I was talking about, like the heliocentric model, where you have the planets not only moving in circular motion, but they're ascending, descending, and moving straight. It's a lot of different motions happening all at the same time. And don't forget that there's a rotation happening, which is the difference between Eastern zodiac and the Chinese zodiac. Because the Chinese zodiac goes by the full polar rotation of Earth, which takes 365 days, which is why there's one zodiac every year. Whereas in the Western, we think about it on a smaller scale, where we talk about, its rotation on its own axis, which only takes about 24 hours, maybe an hour or two less here and there, but roughly 24 hours. So we mentally make everything a perfect circle, perfect 360, a perfect, 24 hours, stuff like that, because we can't really handle all the variables. Yeah, we can't really handle all the variables simultaneously. It doesn't give us much to grasp on conceptually, especially for all my scientists out there that need everything to add up, the numbers that add up the way they need them to add up. So, we ignore the fact that nothing in space is a complete circle, not even the axis and the rotations or the planets itself, which is why the Ayana Masa, which is the difference between the tropical and the Vedic chart, is a whole 23 degrees. So while we're in Cancer energy, we're actually in mid-Cancer energy. In the Vedic chart, we're still in Gemini energy. In fact, we enter Gemini energy May 17th, around that, not May 17th, June 17th, around that weekend time. So we're still in that space, of Gemini vibes, even though our mindset is on Cancer. Slow, little fun astronomical facts for y'all too, because I also love space. It's not just about the astrological sense. And then you notice in astrology they never want to talk about Jeb. So I was on a mission, because we're gonna talk about Earth. Y'all not gonna sit up here and make it seem like Earth just don't be doing nothing and everybody else be doing stuff. And that's the problem with us Earthlings now, is because of how we associate ourselves in space around other planets and celestial bodies. Also how we go by the sun sign. Also because we took that big idea of the Earth's actual rotation being 360, and we keep making our mindset smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, to now we're subjected to an hour at a time with the zodiac energy. Whereas once upon a time it was a whole 360, or even before then we were really just talking about the constellations and the ages. But anyway, this is the model I use to let y'all know where Jeb is. So if the sun is in Gemini, then we can infer that that's not what I meant to do. that the Earth is currently in between Capricorn and Sagittarius. So, another way that you can see this is looking at the midheaven, which we're going to get into momentarily. What the midheaven is it's the middle point of the sky as you look ahead, which gives you an idea of what stars we're up against. So we're in between Capricorn and Sagittarius with it, while the sun is in between Gemini and Cancer on the Vedic chart. Now, when we get into the tropical chart, we're in between Cancer and Leo, and so that makes Earth in between Aquarius moving into Pisces on the tropical chart. And that's where a lot of the thirst for knowledge, we're going inward with the thirst for knowledge, right? Because Aquarian energy it's a beautiful lineup, because you figure Aquarius energy is about Sango. It's about, going into that divine womb, this physical being, went up, got chopped up in 14 pieces, went into the cosmos. Now he's the god of the underworld with his son, etc., etc. So you have that transformation from being a physical body to a non-physical to the cosmic body there. And then Cancer energy is the energy of Yamoja. And it was said that Yamoja actually gave life to Sango when she went to go jump off the bridge or whatever. She had her 14 Orishas she gave life to. What I like and what a random download I had about the Orishas and utilizing them for the planetary names and the constellation names and the zodiacal names is all of the Orishas start with the letter O. O is the number 6. This is utilizing your lower 6 chakras, which we usually go through. The 7th chakra is your auric chakra, which is your crown chakra. That's when we start coming into play with your next octave of chakras, right? And that is Yamoja. So while Aquarius is the feminine side of the chakra, part 1, how you get cut, how you get detached from the womb, how you come out the waters, because Aquarius came out of Cancer, right? She gave birth to Aquarius, right? So this Aquarius energy deals with how you got cut out the womb. How did you come into this life? And what I like about Cancer is Yamoja. Yamoja is wide. That starts with the number 7. So that's the only one that starts with 7, though. Everybody else starts with 6. So there's that divine alignment of the physical chakras with that auric chakra, 7 being in alignment with the spiritual auric self. So I thought that was pretty cool, nice alignment, which makes it even more comfortable for me to keep utilizing the word choices that I'm using to label the planets and stuff like that. And, just catch on. I do the astrological update daily. I do the planetary forecast every 2 weeks, new moon to full moon to new moon or whatever. And as you watch these, you'll get more acquainted with it. But don't worry about it. My courses is coming up in the harvest moon. So as you know, I ain't gonna have y'all sitting in the crib watching me, do classes for hours in the summertime. I'll wait until it cools off, and then y'all gonna come around, and I'm gonna have a class where I actually teach y'all, what's going on and what's what. But then you guys can also catch me on Sunday school, where I'm eating this up too. The last Sunday we went over Aquarian energy very intricately. This Sunday we're gonna go over Capricorn energy. So you guys can check those out as well. Now, these are the zodiac energies of other cultures. Right now, I got to switch that up because I don't think we're in the seating. But that is the Egyptian culture. And what I liked about them was, how we have 4 seasons, right? And then each 4 season is 3 zodiacs. So you got to think. So 4 is the number of stability, right? It's kind of locking things in. So we're locked into a circle with the 4 seasons. And then you have 3 seasons per zodiac. So it leaves you in the energy of creation. So you're constantly flowing through this locked circle, right? That's the 3 within the 4. Now, in Egyptian time, is 4 within the 3, which I like a whole lot better. It feels more freeing. It feels more spiral-like than it does a complete closed circle. And it's because, so you have 3, which is the number of creation when you're dealing with the seasons, which the season should be in relation to, because all of the seasons and the zodiacs and the religious books and stuff like that was for us to learn our bodies, learn our spirits, learn our history, and also learn nature. So, the 3 seasons show you that, okay, our seasons are based in creation. Okay. So we're constantly creating through the seasons. And by the end of each season, we're coming into a space of stability. So you always feel like each season is complete. I complete this task, let's move to the next one. I complete this task, let's move into the next one. And you keep spiraling up in the overall years. I just like that one better. It just feels so much more freeing with 3 seasons than 4, because 4 just feels like you're locking yourself in every year. And there's a mindset that comes with that, right? It's like, oh, by the time I reach this year, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. And then you're beating yourself up if you didn't, because you feel like every year you lock in, you should have been another step higher. However, if you come into the 3s, it's always a space of creation. It's always room for growth. And you're actually locking yourself into those smaller projects of the season. You know, you have Aket, which is flooding, Peret, which is seeding, and Shamu, which is harvesting. Each has 4 months, gods, and 30-day rules. But the thing I didn't like about them was they had like 10-day working weeks. Like, oh, nah, y'all can miss me with that. That's what we not finna do. As far as alchemy goes, we're in this year of 7, which is the year of platinum. So social and business exploration is on the forefront of things at this moment. Design and fashion, you know, we see everybody talking about it now. We just exited the ancestor zodiac energy, and this is dealing with West African horoscope. So now I'm going to bring y'all into the Judge zodiac energy, which is the 5th of July to the 4th of August. And this energy is about understanding and listening to others and how important it is, and also being aware of your primitive desires, having a great sense of duty, and having a good conscience, great mediators, you know, having a good willpower, drive, authority, and initiative. Those are the active powers. And be mindful of displaying egotistical traits. Alone time, pretty much in alignment with the Cancer energy, which is a good time. So, and then as far as the Native American zodiac energy, we got the woodpecker, which is from June 20th to July 21st. This is being sensitive, having a protective streak. Caring nature can be a virtue or a vice. Nurture, yet hard to let go and can smother. And of course, for the zodiac, my words keep leaving me right now. For the zodiac of the year, as far as the Chinese zodiac goes, we're in the year of the rabbit, which we know is all about fertility and learning how to slow down and think before you move and all that fun stuff. So that's what I got for y'all as far as these seasons go. And so let's get into the chakras. Those of you that's backstage on Instagram, y'all can, if y'all want to see the PowerPoint presentation and all the fun stuff in between, you guys can follow me over to YouTube. So the root chakra deals with Muladhara, which is the root of our existence. You see all the information at the top. We're dealing with the 4th element, the four-petal lotus. This is the energy of groundedness, discipline, order, boundaries. It's ruled by Babalao. Babalao, which is Saturn energy, deals with the restrictions. It's kind of like the challenges that come into your space to strengthen you. And, you know, because of the kind of society we live in, where we're rooted more so in man and being human than we are being cosmic, we lose sight of the cosmic roots of these being challenges in the Akashic records, these being challenges in our contracts, where we're coming down here, we're getting our exercises, we're learning what we need to learn so we can go back up into the cosmos. We lose sight of that in this human experience. It's like these are traumatic experiences. These are the moments that, you know, create fear in you, create those restrictions and order and discipline in you in a way of like, oh, I ain't gonna do that because last time I did that, XYZ happened. Oh, I ain't gonna do that because last time I did that. So, you know, that's all root chakra experiences. So right now we have the root chakra sitting in that Piscean energy, your subconscious being your guide here. You know, some of you guys and your people, places, things, situations, ideas, and stuff like that, you're lacking the boundaries that you need. And your subconscious is trying to feed you those things like, hey, you probably shouldn't be hanging around with them people still. You probably shouldn't be doing this over here still. You probably shouldn't be doing that over here still. You know, and it's also bringing you back into your humanitarian purpose, bringing you back into those Akashic records, bringing you back into that groundedness and discipline you had being rooted in the cosmos. So you'll feel that cosmic shift happening as Babalao is strengthened by being in the 7th house. Oba is the 7th house, which deals with the Libra scales. Libra is Oba. We're dealing with heart chakra energy here. We're also dealing with balancing the scales. Oba scales deal with government contracts, bonds, and business contracts, corporate contracts, treaties, anything on paper that is touching those scales of justice, marriage contracts and bonds, you know, one-on-one relationships, interpersonal deals, you know, just weighing them out. And so what Babalao does is, this is the god of retribution and karmic energy, and to walk around with the scales and say, oh, okay, in light of the fact that I've been watching the Last Dragon Decoded part 1 and 2, and I've been binge listening to Kai Zodiac's Last Dragon John, it's the energy of Show Nuff. Show Nuff was walking around in the black and red, like, bro, like asking questions, challenging people, and all that. That's the energy of Babalao. And he's saying, and if I don't like your response, I'm beat your ass. and that's the vibe of Babalao, holding those Libra scales and going to different people, places, and things, and giving you guys the challenges you guys need to recalibrate you back into your humanitarian, your soul purpose, and your Akashic records, and the discipline that comes with that, rather than the discipline that comes with being a human. You know what I'm saying? So over here in Aquarian energy, we got Asar, which is the knowledge of self. We're dealing with the first sphere, which is unity and power to be one with all. We got the 7th house here. So the Oba scales are sitting in that knowledge of self. That's what Babalao is walking around in Pisces with. The scales to show where is your self-knowledge at. Okay? Those are the scales that matter. How much do you know self? How aware are you with self? How well aware are you of self in your unity with other people? You will find yourself coming across a lot of different challenges in your space that'll challenge you to come back into that Asar first sphere knowledge, that Keter at the top of the crown, reminding you that, we are still one, we move still at one alignment, it's important for us to coexist, all that fun stuff. So that's important to keep in alignment with. Now, that's what's going on the feminine side. You having those conversations with yourself. Now, masculine is the experience of your throat chakras, right? And that's when we're dealing with Ta, which is the power and underlining structure. Because I have the knowledge, now I'm moving in the power, right? I have the knowledge, and I'm one with all, and I'm one with self. So now I can manifest things. My manifestations is coming to me easier because I'm in tune with my energy, right? So on this side of the game, of course, we got Oya sitting here. Oya has been sitting here too. So Oya has been in Capricorn since 2008. And when we think about what was going on in 2008, that's like when Obama came into office, we had a big transformation. Pluto is all about transformation, death, secrets, transfer of power, the rise and fall of empires. When you think about the last time Oya was in these 29 degrees, a very difficult degree, y'all. We is on the cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius. And then it's in retrograde. So we're repeating the degrees that we just came out of, because Pluto had entered Aquarius in March 23rd, 2023. We just started retrograde a couple weeks ago. And so we entered right back into Capricorn not too long ago at all. I don't know what I did with that paper. We entered Pluto into Capricorn on June 11th. So it hasn't been that long. It's been about a month. Pluto doesn't move that fast, so it ain't that much. It ain't that much to Pluto. It might be a lot to us, but it ain't that much to Pluto. So, you have Oya creating those transformations in our boundaries, our discipline and order, creating transformation in our bonds and contracts, creating transformation in our authoritative figures. Now, the last time that Oya was at this degree in this space and time was in 1776. And I talked to y'all about that. 1776 was the rise of the empire, the empires with an S as we know it, whether it's the capitalistic empire, the European empires all over the globe, the colonization and those empires that have been created since then. All those things rose in 1776. So in this space, we finna watch that bitch fall. You heard? Because I'm very happy to be here. I'm okay with being here. I am not here to save the ship. I'm here to watch that joint tip over and go into the waters of Olukun with Titanic and everything else where it belongs. You heard me? Oya is here for the currencies, and because Oya is repeating the degrees is one of the reasons why you're dealing with a lot of rain in the beginning of the summer, on top of the fact that the fires happened and people doing their little weird stuff in the air. So it's only righteous that Oya comes back down with the rain as a protector upon us. Okay, y'all keep putting the pollution up. It got to come back down somehow. So, that's the retribution. That's the full circle. That's the karmic energy. All of that stuff is coming out, though. You see a lot of conspiracy theories theories starting to come out to be truthful. So, this is very exciting times. Very exciting times. It's just a matter about where you're at with your Babylon Aquarius. If you still allowing these people, places, and things that are undergoing the transformations of Oya in a negative way, it's going to scare you. But if you're going through these transformations with this energy in a positive way and an empowering way, you're having the time of your life. Put your hands in the air as we go down the roller coaster. You hear me? I'm having a great time. I can't wait for it to be over. It's probably not going to be over in my lifetime. I'm probably just going to live through all of it, walking around with holes in my gloves and stuff like that. And I'm okay with that too. I'm cool for it. Hey, if we got to go down together, then that's what's about to happen. So that's the energy that we have here. And don't forget, it's in retrograde, so we are repeating degrees right now of different things that you went through around March, April. So if you have been dealing with Oya heavily in March and April, you are repeating, March, April, May, we're repeating those degrees right now. We're in like the big, the beginning time or the end time of May, beginning time of June. So if you have a journal or whatever, and you keep those dates dated, those are the degrees we're repeating. You might find yourself repeating different, scenarios in your life, different characters, maybe different circumstances, but you're being challenged with that same kind of energy to provide transformation. It's all about, honestly, with Oya in this energy, it's all about taking your power back. So those movements towards sovereignty, towards village building, self-sufficiency, autonomy, all that stuff, that's being in alignment with this energy. All right. So if that's what you're doing, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But a lot of other people, y'all gonna have a lot, especially, those that still stuck on the human experience, because this transformation energy is and how you're rooted. Now we come into the sacral chakra, which is where your being is established. Now this is the space where you feel like pleasure seeking, joy and expression, creativity, tap into your sensual stuff here. This energy is ruled by Obatala, who is the Orisha that is given the credit for molding the humans. Obatala was also, the stories being told of what happens when your sacral chakra is overactive or underactive. Every time, his sacral chakra was overactive and he was too drunk or he was out sleeping with a bunch of women and stuff like that, different bad things happen, and those are supposed to be stories to tell, to evade your torment in hell. You know what I mean? To evade yourself from having an overactive or underactive sacral chakra. Oh, I had a crazy download about my sacral chakra recently, talking on the phone with somebody about different traumatic experiences I've had with Scorpius energy, because I live in my Pluto placement on the astrocartography chart. And like I told y'all, my draconic chart is starting to slowly open up to Scorpius energy. And I don't know, for a long time, it felt like all the Scorpios in my life, those were the ones that was traumatizing me the most. And so now it's an interesting experience. So, coming back to Obatala, who is sitting in Taurian energy, and creating that wisdom, right when we started the week off, because the 9° 38, latitude, that's in alignment with July 3rd's numbers. That's when we had the full moon. So on July 3rd, we were dealing with Jupiter being in that karmic 9 energy, also going back into that divine womb for manifestation of your pinnacles. So that full moon was a really good day for spell casting and getting, those things in order. 3 and 11 come into that space of self-mastery. 3 and 11, you know what I meant. 3 + 8 = 11. So it's coming to that space of self-mastery, creation, and creating transformation with the creations. And we were in Taurus energy in the 9th house. 9th house is that Sagittarius house. So Obatala is in its home house. Right now that home house is being ruled by Aries energy. So it's going through new beginnings. So it's coming back with the fact that Earth is in Aquarius right now. So like tapping into knowledge, right now the knowledge and stuff is going towards Taurian energy. So your heart, your emotions, your empathy, your sympathy, your compassion, your level of forgiveness, your awareness of universal love, love of self, interpersonal love. All of this is Venusian energy, right? The eye of beauty. What makes something beautiful now? What makes an experience beautiful now? A lot of you guys' eyesight in your sacral chakra has changed tremendously. A lot of things that y'all thought was beautiful is no longer beautiful to y'all. And a lot of things y'all thought wasn't beautiful is beautiful to y'all now. A lot of that's coming with that 9th house knowledge, the traveling, adapting to other foreign cultures and the way they're doing things, or what's foreign to us, because a lot of us have lost ourselves culturally speaking. Right. But as you tap into these quote unquote foreign cultures that are actually different facets of our one culture or whatever, you know, you start to have that new appreciation for beauty coming back, that new appreciation for people, places, things, and ideas coming back. Also, this is the space of pentacles. What does abundance look like to you? How do you value abundance? How are you obtaining it and maintaining it? You know, new knowledge evolving around the pentacles is coming out, especially as Oya controls the currencies. Your Moja is also controlling the currencies in her own way. And we'll talk about that momentarily. But Oya controlling the currencies, you'll see a lot of things happening with the money, whether it's all the cryptocurrencies happening or, you know, well, Uranus is in Taurus right now too, and we'll get into that when we get to the heart chakra. But you know, Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018. That's when this whole, you know, separation thing in our house has changed. We went from having like 2 or 3 cryptocurrencies to now having thousands of them. We had Cash App in abundance, but now they, you know, around that time, which was the anniversary of the Titanic sinking, the owner of Cash App was also murdered. And then the very next day, Fed Now came out, and that's exactly how it happened on the Titanic. Titanic sunk. The very next day, they came out with the Federal Reserve note information. Same exact way, nothing new under the sun. Oya was in the same, you know, spaces, people, places, ideas, situations, you know, and it's just crazy, like the patterns that we repeat, and you just really got to pay attention to them and let Obatala be your guide in that. You know, ruling over it's a certain amount of generations, because Jupiter, it takes 12 years for Jupiter to make a full turn. So every 12 years you have your Jupiter return. So shouts to y'all having y'all Jupiter returns this year. But this is 7 ages of man. All right, so this is a human lifespan. So if you go back and look at the human lifespans prior to self, you'll go back into those different spaces of knowledge. You know, bring that knowledge to the present, y'all. You know, a lot of us got to go back to our inner children, those first couple stages of 7 of us, and those different, you know, phases in between those 7s. I got into this heavy with the chakras. If y'all want to go back and watch the last episode of Planetary Forecast, I went over this heavily about how every 7 years is one age of man, you know, and it brings that Jupiter, that Obatala of knowledge, right? That Sagittarian level of knowledge. And every year within that 7 year is a chakra. You're working on the root chakra of the chakra. You're working on the sacral, then the solar, of every chakra. So the first 7 years of your life is all about your root chakra. But every year within those first 7 years is a different chakra within that space. And I really broke it down to the development of an embryo all the way up to 7 years of age. I broke it down to, you know, the physio-motor skills as well as the physical, you know, the way an embryo develops in it. I did all of the mirrors, and it's all in alignment with that mindset. And then coming into the mindset that these people that control government, entertainment, media, marketing and stuff, they're always gunning for the individuals that are in their sacral chakra stage of knowledge. I mean, not sacral, solar plexus stage of knowledge, where they're getting their empowerment and that vibe to be autonomous, to be sovereign, to, you know, stand up against what you feel is right, instead of whispering about it at home or in funny memes like, oh, you know, the government like this. That shit not funny. That's not acceptable. Where's your solar plexus chakra? Oh, it's rooted in high school, college, all the media that's directed towards teenagers and people in their early 20s, all the liquor and drinking and all those kind of marketing things that's geared towards people in that age group, because that's 14 to 21 is the solar plexus chakra of an adult, of a human, and lifespan human. So they make sure they get y'all in them years, so that by the time you reach the heart chakra, your solar plexus chakra is we out of here. So your heart is always moving, and that the scales is imbalanced here. It's always for self. It's not enough compassion and empathy and sympathy for unity. And that's intentional. And I got into that way heavy. So coming back, bring back. We're getting knowledge in the pinnacles. We're getting knowledge in our heart chakras and our vibrations and how we feel about things and our spaces of business and how we look at business. And I hope y'all is transforming the way y'all look at capitalism. Can we do a history, Joan, on capitalism? I would love to be there for that. And then just remind you guys that Jupiter is in Aries energy on the Vedic chart. So we are experiencing our new beginnings in our vibration and our space of knowledge and wisdom, and how we're seeking our pleasures. And then, you know, in the space of, how we think things are, we're experiencing the knowledge and the pinnacles. This is the summertime. A lot of y'all are vendors. A lot of y'all are summertime business owners. Most business owners do their best work in the summertime. So it's a divine alignment that right now your mindset is on business ventures and expanding your mindset on these different things. Just expand your mindset further than the norm. Expansion is key. Tap back into the fact that those open scales are sitting in Aquarius. It's time to expand past the constrictions and indoctrinations in this space. You have in the feminine side of the sacral chakra, which is ruled by Olukun. We're dealing with the deep waters here, the deep waters of self, and the fishes amongst it. And you could either be the fish that's swimming along the current, or you could be the fish that's moving away from it. It's up to you, and you're in alignment with Mayat. Okay, and people have where is Mayat, but you might have a different divine blueprint because you allowed someone else to give it to you. It depends on what your divine blueprint you decided to be. Are you swimming alongside of it, or are you swimming against it? And if so, where are you swimming to? What kind of current do you create here? It feels good when you create a current or when you're in alignment with other energies. So, where's that at? Neptune right now is in retrograde. Neptune is in the 8th house of transformation. So a lot of you guys are tapping into that Oya energy. Oya plus Olukun is a beautiful experience. Lots and lots of waters. Watch the currencies, y'all. A lot of these currencies are going to start sinking. And I'm not just talking about literal monetary currency. I'm talking about people. I'm talking about places and things. A lot of things is going to start sinking. And as they sink, it's going to bring up conversations. You know what I'm saying? Still bringing that down to come back up. So we saw the submarine thing sink. Okay, cool. But now that it sunk, it brought up some truths. It brought up some secrets. It made a pendulum swing in certain powerful positions, depending on, it was some powerful people that was in that submarine, y'all. They might not be powerful to you, but they might have been the patriarch or the matriarch in their home, in their businesses. They're the they're the CEOs, they're the owners and stuff like that. Like, these people were important people to certain, in certain spaces, and they played with Olukun and they fucked around and found out, and they got that 8th house energy. 8th house also deals with death, but there's rebirth that comes with that. So hopefully in their next life, they got what they needed. Otherwise, Aquarian is bringing them back into bringing them back here in a different form, under different tropical and Vedic placements. In the Kabbalah, they tell you your planetary placements are a result of how you lived your past life. So however way you lived your past life, whatever it was you was doing, that's how you got these placements you got now. When you get into your draconic chart, which is more so into the lunar New Year being flipped to Aries, then you get into your soul energy in alignment with what's going on with your tropical and your Vedic, in this life. So, coming back to Neptune, it's in Pisces in the tropical and the Vedic chart. So feeling the subconscious heavily in your mind and in your heart, lots of spiritual awakenings here. I know some of you guys get triggered by the spiritual awakenings because you're still afraid of it, because you've been indoctrinated to be afraid. And I feel for you, baby. I never had that indoctrination, so I can't sympathize with that. I mean, I can't empathize, but I could try to sympathize with you and tread lightly into these things. But I don't really feel like it. It could do those things. I was raised in a Methodist church where there was never any fear put in my heart, regardless of what facet of God I chose to study and push out. Everybody always, supported me. So I never had those issues in my church. The most I might have had those issues at is in school, but I already knew how to play the game. You don't go to school telling everybody your business. and if your mama ain't tell you nothing else, she told you don't go in that school telling everybody my business. Go in this house, stay in this house. And that didn't just apply to stuff that was going on in the house. That applied to stuff that was going on within this house. You hear me? I'm not telling y'all everything. Y'all ain't gonna even know everything I do. And I already saw the kind of classrooms I was in. What I got going on ain't even for y'all. So, this is about having, transformations, also taking back over the power of your subconscious, undoing those indoctrinations, coming back into, what it is that you're supposed to be doing. What is your humanitarian purpose? Transformations in your nervous system. I want y'all to start taking care of y'all brains. I want better insight on your neurotransmitters, on, you know, how your dendrites interconnect with one another, more meditation, more concentration on feeling your dendrites. Imagine yourself growing in your dendrites. Close your eyes, breathe in. As you're breathing in, your dendrites are taking form. They're connecting to each other. What kind of feeling is it giving you? It's giving you euphoria. Is it giving you downloads, uploads, information? Are tapping into your Akashic record? You have the power to do all those things. This Neptune in the 8th house of Pisces, that's what you're supposed to do with this. That's what you're supposed to do with this. You're supposed to get back into your nervous system and provide transformation and empowerment back over those things. Take back some of those nervous system labels y'all walking around with. I cannot stand Western medicine, and that includes psychology. I went to school for psychology, so I have a little bit of knowledge about what the fuck I'm talking about. I also did some work inside in the psych department, behavioral health department, which I absolutely love. I love healing people. I love helping them heal their behaviors, their mindsets. I love helping people create new memory maps in their brain and all that. It's fun for me. I wrote a whole 30-page dissertation on neurotransmitters in my high school class, and I only had to write a 3-page paper. But it was more so for me than it was for the teacher, because now I have that. I got that. So, you know, with that being said, yeah, it's time to create new memory maps in your mind. With the Western psychology, we be forgetting, because the psychology we think that is, oh my God, it's here for us. It's still Western medicine, okay? Their mindset is to keep you here. So what they do is they'll tell you that you're just going to be a victim. You're going to be traumatized your whole life. Can you get rid of trauma? No, you can't get rid of trauma. If you're rooted in the cosmos, you would know your trauma is here to strengthen you, challenge you into creating better boundaries, discipline, and order and restrictions for yourself and those energies around you, and implementing them. It has absolutely nothing to do with you sitting in fetal position, crying and rocking yourself every time you feel something to your sensories. Your root chakra is not balanced. So your sensual self, this sacral chakra we're looking at right now, so now your sensual self is imbalanced. Now your Piscean energy is all fucked up, because you didn't put you're not interpreting your quote unquote traumas correctly. They're not traumas, they're challenges. Okay, they're trials that you had to go through, that you signed up to go through. It's like you went to Planet Fitness and you were like, hey, I want to work on my abs. I want to work on building up my muscles. And I definitely want to work on, like, you know, some physical therapy, occupational therapy a little bit. And they were like, oh, okay, cool. So here's your gym membership. This is how long we think you should be here. This is, you know, how many times we think you should work out, you know, a week, a month, or whatever. This is the diet we think you should have, you know, during this time. And then at any period of time you feel like you want to break this contract, you know, there's repercussions to that. Okay. But you know, you can't just say, hey, I'm not going to show up to the gym no more. That's not an option. There's consequences to that. You know, especially here, you're definitely not going to walk away from this gym. It's everywhere. It's all over you. That's why they always tell you can't travel to another country and think you're going to escape, because that's just that's just another dimension that you just went into. They got the same makeup that you have over here. You're still dealing with the colonist history. You're still dealing with the 14 tribes being erased. Depending on if you're in America, we got 14 tribes over here on the East Coast in the Mississippi. You got the 14 tribes up north in Canada. You had the 14 tribes on the West Coast. You had the 14 tribes in South America. You got the 14 tribes of Australia. You got the 14 tribes in that Middle Eastern area, Africa. You had the 14 tribes. It's 14 tribes everywhere. 7 seas, 7 continents. It's the same every fucking where you go. Everywhere. It's all interconnected. They're different dimensions. Same shit is happening. Different characters. Okay. So you go over there if you want to. You're still going to be dealing with the same, you know, colonist interference, the same kind of challenges and stuff like that, because that's what you're supposed to be having going on. It's the same quote where they say, like, okay, if you're not at peace over here, what makes you think you're about to travel over there and be at peace? It doesn't work that way. This is your lesson here. So it's going to follow you wherever you go. It's just a matter of how it's going to keep coming to you. It might change because you change your scenery, but that's essentially what it is. So I want y'all to work on y'all mentality and how y'all are computing your things that you're calling traumas, because they're not traumas. They're challenges that you needed to have so that you could really tap into yourself, so that you could really exercise your soul and your spirit and what you're supposed to do here. You know, my root chakra is dusty, bro. I was, you know, and that's talking about the root chakra in my meat suit. My root chakra, my Misu, I was physically abused. I was sexually abused by a family member. I was, physically abused by a family member. You know, I didn't have nobody to talk to. And I just felt like everybody was moving against me. And so if I root my root chakra into that human experience, I will walk all over the place with an imbalanced root chakra. I don't trust none of y'all. For what? The people that I'm supposed to trust the most did me the least. Things like that. But if I root my chakra in the cosmos, those are experiences I had to have, because now I can sit here with y'all and have this kind of transparent communication with y'all to say, hey, I know what you went through. I know how you computing through this. Let me help you come out on the other side like I did. So you gotta, that's just me giving you one facet of the transformation. There's so many other things, but that's for another episode. Babylao, we went into heavily already with dealing with the root chakra in this space. Also remind you guys that Babylao is in let me go back. I want to say it's in Pisces on the other side too. No, it's in Aquarius on the Vedic chart. So we have, those restrictions also coming from knowledge as well. Still with the Oba scale. So the Oba scales is coming back to your cutoff at the divine womb. How'd your umbilical cord get cut? What happened? What'd you do? What detached you? What made you fall? What made you come out the womb? What manifested you? Who summoned you? That's the energy you get into with Babylao in Aquarius, because that's the contract you signed to be here. That's what that gives you an idea of what you're supposed to be doing here. It'll give you a better idea of how to root those experiences you had in your childhood, those first 7 years of your life. Go back to those first 7 years of your life and transmute all that energy so you can come back into your sacral chakra different. That's what I got for y'all there. Be careful with this weed y'all smoking. Be careful with this weed y'all smoking. Neptune is in Pisces on the tropical and Vedic chart. It's a reason why a lot of y'all don't want to smoke weed anymore. It's nothing wrong with the weed. It's something wrong. Your body, your mindset already knows that there's something in the weed that you have access to right now that's preventing you from having the kind of experiences and things that you're supposed to have in the space and time. So if Spirit is calling you to get rid of those things, even if for a little while until better comes along, better options come along, feed into that. Be mindful of all the consumption. A lot of the consumption is going to your brains. Same thing with the air quality. Breathe different. Breathe intentionally. Breathe to your brain as well. Not just to your lungs and your gut and your chest. Breathe to up here too. The ascendant energy is in Pisces. It was in Pisces on the 3rd. The ascendant was rising. We talked about the ascendant energy the last episode of Virgo Version Talk. We did What's Your Grand Rising? So the rising sign is different every 2 hours. So I don't really keep up with that. I'll start putting that in my astrological updates that I do daily, though. It'll be easier for me to put it there than for me to sit up here and talk about it here. Because I talk about it here, that'll be like a whole 3 hours by itself, just going over the ascendant and all the different, motions the ascendant's going to go through this week. But at that point in time when we had our Capricorn moon, we were rising in Pisces. So a lot of you guys who have been, I see green and you wanted to spend more time outside. I know Iota, you were outside in nature and stuff, going outside and still going within at the same time, because going outside is going within and going inside is going without. Does that make sense? It should have. The midheaven, we talked about the midheaven and we talked about Jeb's position. So if the sun, let's go back because now we know midheaven is in Sagittarius. So we talked about the sun being in Gemini, Cancer in the Vedic chart. So that puts the earth in this Capricornus energy. Right? But the sun, and the sun is also in Cancer moving towards Leo in the tropical, which puts the earth in Aquarius. So where they get okay, so we probably are more towards Sagittarius. And then see, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about with the Aya Namasa. Because here there's 13 zodiacs, but there's actually 14 main ones that the sun now goes through. We have Cetus between Taurus and Aries. So there's a bit of a gap here. So yeah, we are in between Capricornus and Sagittarius. And then also reminding y'all, nothing here is a complete circle. Nothing here is a complete circle. So this whole diagram is kind of off because it should be like a cookie, an egg cookie, to show how off everything is. But that would take away from the whole 360 mindset. Why did I do that? Hold on 1 second. But I like knowing where Jeb is. It makes me feel good. So that's where we're at on July 3rd, right? That's where we were at July 3rd. And the way the midheaven moves, they move. This is why it's important to know what time you were born as well. This is where you get your success from. A lot of you guys are going to get your success and your, everything that you need soon as you tap into, this Obatala energy, the Sagittarius energy of like, what are you doing? Where are you at? Where's your subconscious at? Where are you going with that? Now this changes. All right. So the math behind this, for those of you guys who want to do the handwork, 1 degree in the sky is 69 miles radius. Okay. So you can do that math in your head. And the midheaven changes 1 zodiac every 2 hours as well. So the midheaven and the ascendant energy are kind of like one and the same as well, with the non-sit still type of energy. But right here, July 3rd, yeah, we was in that Sagittarius energy. That full moon setup with the stars and stuff was really good for going inward and meditating. So I hope you guys were in alignment with that. Geez, it's been an hour already. That's wild. Okay, so the solar plexus energy, this is the city of jewels. This is where we get our power, our self-expression, our self-esteem, courage, confidence, your energy, all that fun stuff. And it's ruled by Ogun. So Ogun is the warrior energy, the motivational energy. Ogun is not just about like fight. But Ogun was a very intelligent warrior. He's a very intelligent, militant. So it's also about strategizing. How do you strategize? What motivates you? How do you feel motivated? What gets you going? What does it look like when you're going? And it's not just about anger, but also being angry gets things done, does it not? This also deals with your energy levels in different people, places, things, and ideal situations. Where's your energy level at right now? Our Leo is rising. Our energy levels is moving towards the third eye energy, which is Leo. We talked about Leo sitting in the masculine side of the third eye. It's also our motivation there. A lot of you guys are letting spirit take the wheel and guide y'all into different things. A lot of you guys are falling into synchronicities, seeing familiar people. That's what you see in that 2 and 5, interpersonal relationships, as well as your community relationships. And then 3 and 4, coming into a space of creation and being stable with that energy. That's the vibe over the solar plexus chakra with it in the Leo in the 12th house. Also in this space and time, the Mars rules over your blood flow. All right. How it circulates and things. This coming back to the mindset of, I want y'all to take care of y'all nervous system, y'all mental self, y'all mentality, the psychological labels y'all allow yourself to walk around with, how they're weighing on you, peace, how they're weighing on you, all that stuff matters. So you have Ogun sitting in that energy there, and Mars will be entering Virgo zodiac energy. When is that happening? On the 10th. So in a few days, Mars is going to be entering Virgo energy. So we'll be moving from that third eye motivation on things and moving more into harvesting. And that's so exciting. Watch your abundance come to you. So everything you're doing right now, like it's gonna start materializing and assembling and harvesting for you later in your solar plexus chakra. You just gotta take power over it. So no self-sabotaging. You deserve to be here. You did the fucking work. Okay. You did the knowledge. You let those people, places, things, and ideas go. So don't start that shit. And when I talk to y'all, I'm talking to me too. Don't worry about it. Because Leo and Virgo, that's my energy right there. But yeah, for those of you guys who are more so in the air or fire aspects with your Mars placements, you might feel yourself slow down a little bit, and you're feeling yourself slow down a little bit because that's what you need. You just got done dealing with the fire energy, fire on fire and fire on air is a lot. You was moving around, you was doing a lot. Now watch it solidify for you. So chill out and let it solidify. It's not going to solidify to the same speed that you were moving because you was fire and air being ignited by fire. Being fire in the air and then going into an earth, that ain't going to do it for you, baby. My Mars is in Gemini. So, again, when I speak to y'all, I speak to myself. How fast I was moving ain't going to be how fast it's going to materialize. That doesn't take away from the movement, especially as we start getting into these quarter moons where it's time to rehash without feeling, I guess self-conscious or doubt because things ain't moving as fast enough as you need them to. Mars entered the Leo constellation on July 2nd. So the 2919 Cancer that you see in the parentheses, that's the Vedic space, and that is no longer valid. That was valid on July 3rd. Being present, Mars is currently in the Leo constellation. So we have that. Now we have Mars sitting in that Leo zodiac and in the Leo constellation at the same time. So heavy third eye energy, heavy fire on the Mars energy. You might be feeling like super like, bro, I got so much energy, I got so many things I want to do, I'm gonna get this done, get it. Yeah, especially if you like came out of the Capricorn moon accordingly, let yourself rest in, feel enthused to get it moving now. And now in the feminine side, what we're working on, what's going to help you get your willpower and your courage and your confidence is transmuting those wounds. That's what Chiron rules over. I talked to y'all about that already with y'all sacral chakra. But Chiron being in this Aries energy, this is an enforcement of new beginnings, okay? This is the courage and the fearlessness to transmute. Chiron deals with turning your wounds into a superpower. What does it look like for you? How do you go about doing that? What are your wounds? And it's sitting in that space of new beginnings in the 9th house, learning, going back to the sevens, right? The first seven is of self is the first 7 stages of self is the root chakra. The 7 years of self is the sacral chakra. So now you're learning how to heal those wounds in your sacral chakra, which is very important. Because that's what's going to help you feel that joy and that generosity and that compassion and that wisdom that you deserve to feel, right? You're going to get that energy, which is dope. I love that for y'all. And then in the Vedic chart, as far as your vibration goes, you want that transmutation. One of y'all messing up my words. Calm your mind. I got you. You want the new beginnings energy to go towards the Piscean, back into the sacral chakra energy, back into your subconscious, coming back to the mindset I told y'all. Let go of those labels that you're holding on into your head. They're not serving you. They're actually keeping you crippled and traumatized. Aries is the divine feminine energy, right? We're dealing with mother goddess. Aries has been in Aries since 1925, y'all. And Aries will remain in Aries until 2044. Now think about the 1920s. What was going on in the 1920s? That was the beginning of the feminine music. Well, it actually wasn't like the entire beginning, but it was a big stride happening. It was a big transformation in the feminism movement in the 1920s. And so, in that space and time, you got Aries entering Aries, a new beginning for that primordial woman, for that woman that's about rebellious and going against the grain and doing whatever she want to do. You can't tell me nothing. You feel me? And that's what Aries brings. Aries is in alignment with, have y'all ever seen Xena? I grew up on Xena. That was something that I watched heavily. But Xena was actually created in honor of Aries. Aries has a daughter moon. Like we're talking about astronomy now, not astrology. Let's come into the astronomy. Y'all know I love to balance my science and art. So come back into the astronomy. Aries has a moon. Don't ask me what her daughter's name is. It's in one of these notebooks over here. I don't know it off the top of my mind. But that is in alignment with Xena and the partner that Xena had in the show. And these were primordial women. These were the Amazonian women, the warriors, the fighters, the ones that would come into the space with the Aries energy. Aries is the feminine version of Aries. So Aries is kind of like in her masculine home, which is really dope. Still in that ninth house of expanding your mindsets and your philosophies, okay? And that's what these women are here to do. And then Aries entered Aries constellation on June 4th, which is a big fucking deal because you see it takes, like a good 100 years or so for Aries to tap into the next zodiac energy. So that's really dope. Now that we're locked into our tropical and our Vedic chart simultaneously, that is really, really cool. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for the new beginnings for the primordial goddesses. And we see the feminine energy with our masculines, they're being more tapped into their feminine energy. Some of them not to the level that we would like for them to be tapped in. I appreciate the enthusiasm and the love of the feminine energy, but some of you guys are doing too much. But you see that. And then you see a lot of masculine men being triggered by the Aries and Aries, and what they're doing is they're telling us to be quiet. Y'all women is y'all too independent. Y'all doing too much. Y'all da-da-da-da. No, we're in Aries, okay? We're angry. We're creating transformations. We're strategizing, and we're going to war. We ain't playing with y'all no more. We did all of that. That shit's dead. That shit died in the 1920s, did it not? We let that shit ride in the 40s and 50s. But when you got into the 60s, that shit was dying. That shit was dying in the 60s and 70s. Okay? So no, we're not playing these games with y'all no more. Sorry, not really. Especially with this being in Aries on the masculine and the feminine side. I mean, on the tropical and the Vedic side at this time. Oh, yes. I'm very happy for my goddesses. Y'all about to do some dope shit. I see my goddess. I see the healers coming together, my spiritual teachers. Y'all doing collective readings. A lot of y'all coming together to do collective spells and seances. The collective is coming together for the group meditations. A lot of these goddesses are being pioneers in the music industry. You got a Nico, you got Lizzie Jeff, you got Saba the goddess, you got Universe, you got all these goddesses pioneering the music. Music is our first form of communication. So they taking back that shit. You heard me? Then you got these women, going into the 3D realm. We taking over politics, okay? And you can feel however way you want to feel about the corporation that you live in. That's what's up. That's your business. At the end of the day, the facts remain the same. These goddesses are going into these politician offices and they are creating transformations. My favorite one is the goddess in Atlanta. I love you, girl. Do your thug dizzle down there, sis. And then I got some goddesses out in Texas that's doing the damn thing. I know some politicians, y'all. They are doing the damn thing out here. You can't mess with mother. And that's why they always use an Aboriginal goddess to sell their shit, because they know Aries is an Aries, and ain't nobody gonna listen about taking a medicine, a prescription, or advisory or whatever, unless an Aboriginal goddess goes on the television and says, hey, y'all should drink this, y'all should eat this, y'all should take this. Then it makes it okay. Like when they had Mary J. Blige singing the most for McDonald's chicken nuggets. I don't care about the McDonald's chicken nuggets. Or you had Cardi B doing the family meal. They don't care about the damn family meal. But that was the best-selling meal they had once Cardi did it. It had nothing to do with Offset. You can make it by Offset if you want to, but that was the primordial waters of a goddess. We is making it rain out here, and I love it. I love it. Between Oya, Yamoja, Aries, Oba doing her thing, Oshana is doing her thing. We're not playing out here with y'all. It's no more playing, and I love it here. The ships is being tipped, and if you want to be in alignment with the overall ship being tipped, you gotta let yourself be tipped on the inside. Go ahead and tap into your primordial goddess. Go ahead and provide transformation to those wounds. Turn them into superpowers and let it empower your inner Xena. Just breathe it in, y'all. There we go. There we go. All right. And then the ninth house, that Sagittarian house is sitting in the energy of new beginnings. New beginnings coming to your knowledge, to your philosophies, to how you carry yourself, your traveling spaces, how we travel about to be different. You heard me? I cannot wait for these Airbuses because y'all got me chopped. I don't want to drive nothing no more. I need a driver. I'm not driving nothing no more. I don't want to say traumatized. I got to heal that Chiron in me, but that Chiron is very fresh. Mind your business. On the masculine side, as far as our experiences go, we have the fourth house here. So as you're doing that work of healing, you're transforming your wounds and tapping into that primordial goddess of self and the Amazonian energy, you'll be directing towards creating safe space. I talked to y'all about that though, about all the different abuses I've been through. And because I went through all those abuses, I'm able to sit here now. I spent a lot of time by myself reading books. Books was my escape. I did very well in school, and I learned to love school because school was a safe space for me. It was the only place niggas wasn't punching me in my face. So I went to school and I did a good job, and I signed up for all the after school programs so that I could be in this space and time with y'all right now and have a really crazy love for teaching and learning, because that's what saved me when I was going through my abuses. You know what I'm saying? So that is a beautiful transmutation. You know, I'm able to create safe spaces. I'm able to self-love. Self-love for me is learning, is growing, is changing my mindset and my thought processes on things, you know, and that's a safe space I create for other people, you know, doing the one-on-ones, doing the groups, doing these things, you know, I create safe spaces with my knowledge. Giving people soothing awareness, especially when you guys are having your mental attacks. I'm able to, you know, accommodate those things with my knowledge, balancing in y'all Libra scale. So that's what's going to happen as you guys heal your inner wounds. It'll go right out into you being able to be a safe space for yourself and you being able to be a safe space for other people. And then you see the divine alignment, because the fourth house is ruled by Yamoja and is sitting in Oya, thus connecting the two. Connecting those two goddesses there. They shake hands over there in your solar plexus. So you got your feminine third eye and your feminine masculine, you know, solar plexus shaking hands. What is going to empower you is going to come from spirit. But you got to transform those wounds first. And you said going through an inner child cleansing right now. Facts. Peace to you, sis, while you do it, though. That's a very important, and it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack, y'all, because it's not just the parts of child that you choose to remember. It's some of the parts that you forgot, but a smell, a sound, something will bring you back, even if not directly to that point in time of being able to communicate. It's still something that might invoke something in you that's from a childhood. For me, a lot is movies and smells. Music and smells bring me back to a lot of different experiences. Not always bad though. So now we're going to get into Oshan, which deals with your heart chakra. This is where you get your wealth, wisdom, compassion, your empathy, and forgiveness from. We have Oshan sitting in that Leo energy, bringing your heart into your third eye, your vibration. You know, your self-esteem is coming from your third eye knowledge. It's coming from your confidence and your courageous capabilities. It's coming from, your spiritual self. That's where a lot of the self-love is coming from. That's where a lot of the compassion and empathy is coming towards others, coming back into that Odumila energy. Yay, we love you here, right? Yay. Also, Oshan is in alignment with our 12th house right now. The 12th house is the Piscean energy. So again, we're bringing our heart. A lot of stuff is going back down to the sacral chakra. Jupiter really wants y'all attention right now. Obatala wants y'all attention right now with what y'all find joy in. A lot of us fail to realize that a lot of stuff that we find joy and pleasure in is actually detrimental to our health as individuals and as a collective. A lot of stuff that we engage in regularly or that we convinced ourselves that we need to have regularly to make ourselves feel joy, comfortable, etc., etc. A lot of that stuff is actually killing us as a whole. It's creating, domino effects of pollution, of people in power that shouldn't be in power, different, events and situations that are going on with our children getting trafficked, our women getting trafficked. You already fucking up. But because your Oshan is rooted in you having certain things and certain name brands and certain appliances and a certain, going into certain stores and paying certain, paying for certain services that we call bills, but they're services, they're subscription services that you can easily get cut off, that you can easily go a different route, but you choose not to because you've allowed your indirect indoctrination to rule your root chakra, which is why Saturn is sitting in your sacral chakra. So while everything is coming down to the sacral, Babalao is in the sacral to bring you back down to the root so you can remind yourself who you are and what you're capable of, and also provide transformation as Oya is sitting in that Capricorn energy, Provide transformation to those things that you utilize, the things that you've been taught. Oh, I need to have this set up like this because everybody else, because my mom, because my grandmom, because that's just how a house is set up. Who taught you that? Indoctrinating people, did they not? So you need to remix all of that. Stop playing with yourself. The sixth house is an Aquarius. That means that you're about to detach, innovate, and be revolutionary with everything that you utilize on a daily basis. That means that 360 from now, in fact, when Pluto exits Aquarius, by the time Pluto exits your Aquarius, your daily life should look nothing as it looks now. It should look nothing like as it looks now. It would make no sense for it to. Pluto will be in there for about 18 years. So you got 18 years to provide transformation to your daily routine and detach from the indoctrination you have. That's not bad. In 18 years, I'll be in my 50s. That sounds like a good time. I'm here for it. I'll be, in my 50s, close to 60. Mind your business. No, I'll be in my 50s. But yeah, that's a good time. That's a good time, Yeah, just get it together. I'm hoping it don't take you the whole 18 though. It shouldn't take you the whole 18, but if you need to take the whole 18, God not judging, but I'm judging a little bit. It's like, nah, I'm just playing, not really. Anyway, so Oshun is sitting in that Leo energy in the 12th house. The 12th house deals with your dreams, your secrets, your emotions, endings, healing, closure, spirituality, solitude, the solitude necessary for that spirituality, tapping into that. Or afterlife, what's hidden, your limited beliefs, your subconscious separation from society. So the things that make you feel so different from what everybody else is doing is going to come off of your vibrations, and that's why y'all aligning with a lot of familiar faces. That's why y'all see a lot of people from your past lives now, because it's starting to come off in your vibration that you don't fit in here. With your Oshan sitting in the 12th house, you really see firsthand, like, oh man, my Akasha. Now your nodes are in your vibration, especially if you have knowledge of them. The more knowledge you have of self, the more that's going to be sitting in your vibrations, because the 12th house deals with all intangible things of self. Your subconscious, your beliefs in self, your hidden agendas in self, your Akashic records, your spiritual DNA in self, all of that sitting in your vibration. So the more aware you become of your vibrations, the more familiarity is going to come from past lives and past things and stuff like that. Because the 144 has to come together. At some point in time, the 144 is going to come together. We are the 1%. And that might sound like a lot. 144,000 sounds like a lot when you're on Facebook and you're like, oh my God, I got 144,000 views. I got 140. Yeah, it's really not a lot. It's really the 1%. And we have to come together. And we're slowly coming together. I see the covens forming. I see the goddesses doing their cross networking and doing collective readings. I see the spiritual baddie university has 100,000 people in it by itself. Like it's so many different things aligning in that room. Like we're coming together. It's just a matter of, okay, once we get into this space, it's combing through the people that's not really, I won't say not supposed to be here, but like it's a comb through. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When y'all came into the spiritual realm and the quote unquote spiritual conscious woke community, whatever, y'all had a lot of crazy experiences, because there's a lot of people that are in this realm that are only in this realm for surface shallow shit. There's snakes in all grass. So to think that you were going to escape your regular grass and then come into a spiritual grass and not see snakes, like, bro, snakes literally live here. Like we literally evolve around snakes. Do you see Tiamat? Do you see, the Kundalini? Do you see, Cephas in the snake that's in his hand? Or that the fact that the Kundalini is in alignment with health care, all facets of healthcare. So there's going to be a lot of snakes in this quote unquote conscious community, woke community, subconscious community, because it's easy to come in here and play. It's easy to come in here and play. I was a little tempted to come in here and play. I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, oh, it's that easy to get somebody to do what you want over here. But there are some people who are they haven't healed, that they're still rooted in the human self, and they over here playing with the cosmos. Does that mean that they're not good at what they do? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. They're very good at what they do. Be careful with those people. Careful with them. But yes, there's snakes everywhere. It's okay. They're everywhere. It's all about discernment, and your vibration is going to attract who you need. Oh, my bad. I ain't seen none of y'all comments over here. I wasn't even looking that world. My bad, y'all. Peace. I'm not paying attention. My eyes I got the PowerPoint on my eyeballs only, so I'm not. My bad, y'all. But yes, That's what's going on in the heart chakra. You tap into your third eye. And what I like about it is your heart chakra is in the masculine experience in the tropical chart, how you think they're supposed to be, being courageous and fearlessness in the matters of the heart and stuff. And then on the Vedic chart, it's in Cancer. So you have like that nice balance of, the masculine and feminine eye on your vibrations. That Capricorn full moon was for the meditation. You hear me? That was a beautiful, beautiful space and time. And just to let y'all know, Venus goes into retrograde on the 20th. At 10:40 a.m. If y'all want to, meditate at that space of time on the 20th, that's what that is. That's what's happening. So we're going to repeat the degrees with this Leo and Cancer energy on our heart chakra. Oh, I love that. I would love to repeat, because now I have a better awareness. Like I had awareness before because I did the planetary focus, but now I'm reminding myself. So now I have a better awareness. Like, oh shit, we about to repeat the third eye experience in our heart chakras. Oh, I can't wait to see who I meet. I love when I meet new people in this space. I love retrogrades because I get to repeat degrees, and when I get to, and usually when things go on retrograde, I have better awareness of the degrees that we're in, because of course it's 20. Well, it's not always 29 degrees, but like, I have a better understanding, like, okay, I'm about to repeat these numbers again, this numerology, or over top this astrology. Okay, bet. So like, I'm about to go back over these things, and I'm more prepared. Like, I'm more aware. I love it here. But yeah, that's what you're getting, in that space. Venus entered the Leo constellation on the 8th, which is in 2 days. So it didn't reach the Leo constellation yet. So on the 8th, we'll be entering the Leo constellation. So we'll have the tropical and the Vedic in Leo. But remind you, on the 20th, we go on retrograde. So we're going to go right back into that masculine, feminine balance between the third eyes of going into, Leo on the tropical and Cancer on the Vedic. That is a boy. Venus entered Leo zodiac on June 5th. And then we're going to be going into Virgo at some point in time, but it's only going to be for a short spell. We're going to go on retrograde, and then the thing about it is, when we go on retrograde, we're going to go back forward. So we're going to repeat the degrees 3 times. What is 3 the number of, y'all? 3 is the number of creation, sunshine. I know. That's why I'm so fucking excited, bro. It's a great time. It's a great time for your heart chakra and your vibrations, and going back over your Oba scales and your Oshun senses and your pentacles and matters of love. I love it here. So on the feminine side, when we go inward, you have Uranus creating that progressive change in your space in the 10th house, especially. So what you see is success and achievements, and what you see in that realm of things, your public image, your professional aspirations, and all that stuff is experiencing a progressive push. Like, here, you over there sabotaging and over there having, imposter syndrome. Let me help that ass. So, Uranus do the push. Now, Uranus, we talked about Uranus being in Taurus since 2018, 2019, and that was around the time that we went into, our separation, and the pinnacles changed from physical to crypto. And then we started having the coin shortage, and then we started having things coming out about the crypto owners being, deceased, because we have Oya, which is a space of death, around, controlling the currencies and our authoritative energy. So those who have been in charge with the money, their secrets are coming out. They're dying, stuff like that is happening. The pendulum is swinging in that realm. Uranus is here to just push us along. Now, Uranus will be in the energy of Taurus in that space of business. Also, love, the people that you have around as your family, friends, loved ones, relationships, all that stuff. Just a lot of progressive, innovative energy going that route, breaking traditions, breaking indoctrinations, breaking those spells. That's what Uranus and Taurus is all about. And then on the Vedic chart, it's still in that new beginnings energy of Aries, and it's in the mutable. So we're preparing for Uranus to enter the Taurus on the Vedic chart, which is very exciting. Probably about like 3 to 4 more weeks of that. We should have Uranus entering the Taurus on the Vedic chart in like August-ish or September. So we'll have it locked in on both sides. So, you could expect like a big, that's when they're going to do it, y'all. That's when they're going to do it. When Uranus makes that shift, it makes sense. It makes sense for them to do it when Uranus makes that shift into the into the Vedic Taurus because they have the Fed now. And you see, like literally, as soon as Uranus entered Taurus on the tropical chart, that same month, that month of March, is when we went into our houses. It was literally that month. We had to be, the schools were shut down by the 30th. Uranus was only in Taurus for 10 days before the schools were shut down. That's wild. Yeah, that's when it's going to happen, y'all. August, September, when I'm pinning down on the date. Just give me a minute because that's going to take some research. I'm not going to do that for the planetary forecast for the people that's tapping in now. But like, yeah, I'm going to give y'all a date. When Uranus enters the Taurus on the Vedic chart, that's when it's going to happen. That's when y'all going to get hit with that blow. Yeah, I felt that. Anyway, let's move forward. The true node. So, like, if you're really tapped into the fact that Leo and Cancer is over here on Ocean, you're really moving into our node as a collective. Our node is coming into the collective through our heart chakra. You know, heart is earth. You know, and we love it here, right? Coming more into compassion, wisdom, empathy, and forgiveness towards one another, you know, is essential. We have to learn how to forgive people, y'all, especially my aboriginals. It's time for forgiveness. Forgiveness is empowering because when you forgive, you know, you're actually able to be more realistic about your situation. You know, I talked about that earlier today. It's time to be more accountable for the shit that we allow in our space. Y'all over here keep acting like y'all got a babysitter, but then y'all quick to say how y'all grown. How grown are you if you complaining to your quote unquote oppressor every time something goes wrong? You're begging them to fix it. Why would they fix it? That makes no sense. Now, if you move in a space of forgiveness of self for how you've been moving until now, forgiveness of the history that's been going on, you're able to renew your mind into a space of empowerment. All that shit happened is not happening. Now, what do I do? Be present. I take all the knowledge that have been gained in my lineage from those experiences, and I take them and I transmute them, and I'm gonna do some hot shit with them. You hear me? I'm gonna do some motherfucking hot shit with them. Because we're coming into that ninth house. Again, I keep telling y'all that ninth house of wisdom ain't here to play with y'all. Obatala wants to reshape y'all. That's what's happening. Obatala wants to put his hands on y'all and reshape y'all minds and how y'all think about things, because it's off. It's very, very off. And it's not doing y'all no justice. Walking around angry and not forgiving and not being present. You always, yeah, it's kind of like you're living on the before it's news all the time. And you know the different, Olukun factors that come out of living on before it's news. It's just as bad as living on the actual news on TV. There's a whole bunch of fear mongering and thought provoking you into learned helplessness and all that nonsense. You don't need that in your life. So move into this vibration, y'all. Let these new beginnings go over y'all and y'all true as we move as a collective. Brother Tiger, I don't know if you still here live on Instagram, but you had spoke to me something earlier about we keep talking about shadow work as individuals, but at some point in time we're going to learn how to talk about shadow work as a community. Our communities have shadows that need to be worked on as well. And y'all know I'm all here for it, because I'll call out a more in a motherfucking second. You heard me. I can't wait for y'all to do y'all community shadow work, because I got some bones to pick. It's like, nah, I'm moving in forgiveness. I'm learning how to forgive all of y'all. I sit in all y'all spaces and kumbaya. I'm here for it. And then we have Jupiter sitting here too, giving us, wisdom. We have Obatala sitting here with Uranus. So while Uranus is progressively moving along, Jupiter is sitting here giving us the wisdom that we need while we move in it, right? This is the areas of your life that are most generous too. So as you move in bouts of love and you're in alignment with that true node, this is where the abundance comes. This is where we get, okay, a lot of us are waking into that mindset that it's time for off-grid living. Do you know what's required for off-grid living? Compassion, empathy, forgiveness, the divine alignment of the vibration of your heart chakra, aligning that Venusian energy with the Leo and Cancer energy, that tropical and Vedic chart. Tapping into this true node as a collective in the heart chakra is what's going to give you your village, your tribe that you're supposed to align with. Yes, the whole world should be under one. Yeah. But realistically speaking, you're going to find your tribe. You're going to start coming around familiar people, places, things, and ideas. Some of them going to stick to you in certain ways that others can't. Doesn't make one bad and one good. But you're going to find your tribe as you learn to align your vibration. And that's what Jupiter wants you to do. Jupiter is saying that, life will be more abundant, more generous to you. Your definition of abundance and generosity is going to undergo that Aries energy as well. New beginnings, new strategies, right? New motivations, new militant speaking. That Ogun energy, Jupiter is Obatala is in Ogun. Your wisdom is coming from this space too. All that collective, we want to go off grid, we want to be sovereign and all that. That's going to come, especially through empathy, forgiveness, and compassion. This is another grass that green. This is another grass that the snakes are in. When you go in and you get into the space of sovereignty and doing the paperwork and undoing certain contracts, which is what Oba generates those contracts, right? So, Obatala wants you to undo those things. You come into the space of sovereignty, the snakes in that grass, they're taking your contracts, they're taking your information and stuff like that, and they're doing funny stuff. That's because their heart chakra is not well. Their heart chakra is not well. So you have to see them for who they are. And instead of getting mad at the whole community, because that's not showing compassion, and that's not showing wisdom, and that's not showing forgiveness or empathy, you should be so aware of your chakras and your heart chakra and their placements and what they feel like when they're underactive and overactive, that you could see someone when theirs is underactive and overactive and show compassion and empathy and put them in the box they belong in. Hey, you do have a lot of knowledge and stuff like that, but I don't trust you in these certain aspects of things. I see you, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to hate you. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to let you be a representative for this whole community, because we are all snowflakes and everybody's at their different levels with these different chakras. That's compassion. Okay. All this, I hate the woke community, I hate the conscious community. That's ridiculous. There's thousands of us in here. There's hundreds of thousands of us in here. How could you hate the whole community? Because you've seen a couple people that were still getting their chakras in alignment in the beginning stages when you were in your beginnings. In fact, you weren't even in your beginning stage. You went and put your toe in the water and started seeing all these energies and got overwhelmed and ran out. So who's really the issue here? You or them? Don't do that. That's like the lion and the sour grapes. The lion deals with the heart chakra, does it not? That fifth house energy. And when the lion couldn't get to the grapes, he said they was probably nasty anyway. And them grapes are probably fucking delicious, bro. Stop playing with yourself. Them Jones that be up in the sun, be juicy. You heard me. They be getting the best love. You played yourself because you didn't want to put in that work, because you didn't want to sort through, because you didn't want to strategize, because you wasn't tapped into that Ogun energy. It's like the cowardly lion, not tapped into that Ogun energy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't generalize. Let yourself have these experiences so you can learn how to see, how to recognize, how to deal with people who have certain chakras that are overactive, underactive, imbalanced, and stuff like that, and show them compassion and empathy, because that is important to show them. Because they don't know what the fuck it feels like. Otherwise, they would be able to give it instead of taking your birth certificate and doing a whole bunch of bullshit with it. They would do something different. You got to show them. You got to be what it is that you want. If you allowing other people to sway you, you're not being. And, what's happening in our heart chakra experience is Ceres, again, coming to a space. We talked about this in the solar plexus chakra, and I would go talk about it again in the heart chakra. More safe spaces are being harvested and materialized. More nurturing spaces, more nourishing spaces, all up in that third house energy of community. Virgo energy is over the third house in our Vedic chart. So being of service is in your vibrations. How are you going to serve the village? I hate that. What do you bring to the table? But it's a good cliche. Because what do you bring to the table? Can you garden? What do you specialize in gardening? I specialize in gardening potatoes. I haven't tried too much of anything else. But me and potatoes, we get the fuck along. So if y'all ever want some tater tots, some french fries, some hash browns, get at your girl. I do the potatoes, y'all. So, because I know some people get overwhelmed and say, oh my God, I can't garden. You don't have to garden a whole farm. Ain't nobody tell you to take over a whole farm. You could have one particular thing that just grows very well for you while everything else dies. You never know. For me, it's potatoes. And I think it has something to do with the fact that I have so much root chakra placements in Capricorn. So it's only right that I be good at root plants. So I might be good at beets and carrots. I just ain't tried it yet. We gonna try it. We gonna see. Because I want to make some yams and sweet potatoes too. So I'm gonna try all the root plants and see how they come out. Maybe that's my specialty, root plants. You know, you can have different ideas like that. Figure out what you're good at. That's what you bring to the table. That's how you could be of service. That's how you can help nourish the community. And you put it on your vibration. This is what I have to offer. Like, I also love to teach. You know, I don't just teach astrology, astronomy. I also teach science, math, history, and reading. I homeschool my kids. I can help other people homeschool their kids. You know, I like teaching art. I used to be a substitute teacher. You know, it's fun. I love it here. I just like to be in control of myself. That's the only thing. I don't like to be on other people's schedule and routine on a regular basis. It really bothers me. My sixth house energy is low. I don't even think I have any sixth house placement. It's crazy because I got all this Virgo energy and no sixth house placements. Like, ain't nothing is for the daily routine over here, y'all. I just don't be beat for it. I just don't be beat. So now we're in the throat chakra of things. This is the pure element. Now we're dealing with communication, invocation, integrity, your moral and ethical code, the patterns in your life, and how you notice the patterns in your space and stuff like that. Now, ruling over our throat chakra is Yamoja. And we move into Leo energy. So Mercury goes into Leo zodiac on 7/11, which is cool because that's the day the rise of the Moors is 7/11. Yay! And so that's when we reach into that confidence. Y'all, that is a nice pattern because remember when I told you about Oya and how it take Oya a little over 400 years before it does its thing? It's Doug Dizzle between Capricorn and Aquarius. That's the rise and fall of the empires, you know, the authority spaces. So if you do enough 400 years back, you'll take a 400-year back vacation to the Moors, the rise of the Moors, right? So take that 400-year vacation back to the 700s-ish or whatever, you know, and then you have, you know, your throat chakra entering the Leo energy on 7/11. Leo energy is dealing with the energy of confidence and courageousness. Also the third eye tribe, also the lion, tribe of Judah. Oh, all right, full circle stories. I love it here. Gang, gang. You can make patterns with anything. Like I said, I'm a Virgo stellium. So I can make a pattern out of anything. I be going off. But yeah, our throat chakra is sitting in our third eye. You know, invocation is on the forefront of things here. Like, you guys can really speak things into existence, not just speaking, but also writing things into existence, meditating things into existence. Any form of expression or communication is on your team right now. Whether it's you taking downloads in, whether your third eye speaking to you, or you're taking uploads where you're speaking to the third eye and going into the cloud. Both of those things are happening at high speed. You'll find if you sleep on an energy that's trying to be born through your womb, through your temple, you'll notice that someone else will come up with the same idea in the very same day and actually activate it out and give life to it. I'm not saying be in a race with other people. You do what you can handle. What I'm saying is the ability to upload and download from the same cloud is coming just as fast for everyone else. So if you get an idea to do something, hop on that shit. It's not a race. There's billions of people in the world. So you figure if there's only like a few 100,000 of us on the same type time, we don't 1%. And there's billions of people to help, like, you'll always have an audience. You know, learn how to escape out of other countries. That's what a lot of that ninth house energy is for too. A lot of y'all are stuck on this on where you're from and who you are because you still stuck on that human, that meat suit root instead of the cosmic root that don't care about the racial lines that you created, the ethnicity lines that were also created in 1776 when Pluto was in this position. Racism was created in 1776. It was scientific experiments. They initiated it with studying the 5 main skulls to create the 5 main races. And so, yeah, that's how they created the racial separation. They turned it into a whole scientific thing. It was wild. But that's how they learn how to split us up in different, circles or whatever, what have you. And so Pluto is coming to undo that shit too. So it's a matter of you learning how to break from a lot of y'all. Like, oh, I'm from West Indies. Oh, I'm from this. I'm from that. Those are all colonist lines, y'all. We are all one. Everything is one. Come back to the one, y'all. Come back to the one, please. Every colony, everything we had, like everything was 14, right? 14 stars of Orion's belt, which is our warrior in our sky. That's our Ogun, right? 14 stars, 14 tribes. You need 14 standing on one amongst the collective in that four square stability. Okay, that's the numbers of it. 1 and 4 is 5. We're coming into that Leo energy again. We're coming into the heart chakra, the balance beam, your courageousness and your fearlessness. All right. So 14 is on everything. 14 is on everything. Come back into that one so you can go into that 4 and get the community you're looking for. That's, resetting your root chakra. 4 is earth. Reset that shit. Reset your earth. Reset your roots. Reset all that. Oh, peace. Welcome, love. Thank you. But yeah, you invoking all of that through your throat chakra is a big thing. On the Vedic chart, it's in Gemini. So, speaking life into the community you want, communication, expression, all of that, as you sitting in its home space of the veggies. I mean, a lot of communication is dealing with the intuitive spirit, being guided from that realm. And yeah, sometimes they're going to say some stuff that's going to be outlandish. But remember, Uranus and Jupiter are in the same zodiac right now, really pushing you out of your indoctrination and your traditions and all that stuff like that. So it's only outlandish to your indoctrinations, not your cosmic self. So flip your roots, get out of your self and go into the ultimate self. Now, on the feminine side, you have the 11th house, which is your humanitarian pursuits, but you also have Vesta here, your passions, your passionate self and vibration of self. So Vesta deals with like the vestual virgins. They had to remain virgins to stand around the vestual fire and keep the fire alive. And so, when you have sex, there are certain dendrites that go off in your brain. So when you engage in certain activities, it gives off the same dendrites. This is actually my natal Vesta. My natal Vesta is in Gemini, so I'm activated right now. I love to talk. No, I love communication. I love to know I love to know stuff. I love to teach things, labeling. And so, now in the space and time, my community is coming to me in that way though. I'm being put in a lot of positions where I'm tapped into my Vesta, which is communication, community, and stuff like that. I'm tapped into my Vesta on these platforms, and it's bringing my village. I'm invoking those spaces. I'm invoking that community for myself. Gemini deals with community. So I'm excited about that. I love how this time and space is putting me where I want to be. And also dealing with that passion energy going into Taurus space as well. Taurian energy dealing with the pinnacles. And we talked about Venus being on back into the third eye. So while your passion is coming back down to your heart chakra, your heart chakra is in the third eye. So again, this is a really dope alignment on how you're going to get your community. You really got to fix yourself, y'all. Or you're going to keep attracting. What's going to happen is what's happening now is you are at a certain stage in your journey, right? So you right now with Venus being in that Leo and Cancer energy, your vibration is giving off wherever and whatever it is that you're doing now. So this is why I tell people, be mindful of how you speak about yourself in the present. Oh, I'm only doing this and I'm trying to do that and I'm not really doing this and I don't really know. And now you can be in this space and time in the present, but speak like, oh, I am in pursuit of this. This is fitting to happen. We're manifesting this into our space. This is going on, because that's going to come out into your vibration. That's going to attract your tribe. Now, if you go back into the, oh, I don't really know, I'm kind of trying, I'm bouncing back and forth. Guess what? That's who you're going to attract. Accountability says, pay attention to where your frequencies are at when you attract certain people, places, things, and ideas, because it matters. Be accountable for how you're invoking this shit into your space. You're literally controlling your simulation. Are you taking control or are you allowing it to take control over you? That's up to you. On the masculine side of the throat chakra of things, we have the second house here, which is your house of pentacles. Your possessions, how you obtain and maintain possessions, and it's in the space of service. The best way of you obtaining and maintaining abundance as you want it is to come into the collective. Be of service. Self-manage yourself, organize yourself, time management, self-management, mindset management. How are you labeling and separating people, places, things, and ideas? Or everything going into the correct space that it should go in? And do that shit with courage, says the Leo, or the Vedic Leo that's over the second house. This is how you're going to get your abundance. All right. The fortune is also here to support that notion. Be of service, y'all. Put yourself. Y'all know what what you're good at. You know what you're good at. You know what you can do. So let yourself do it. Let yourself have that. You'll go into better spaces. So now we're going into, last but most certainly not least, the third eye chakra. Now, third eye chakra is, we talked about this in the beginning of the PowerPoint, how it's very headstrong with the sun and Heru and all set in the moon, doing the thug dizzle. So our sun, as we know, it's currently in Cancer energy. Our overall ego experience, our overall external self, how we tap into our self purpose, all that stuff is happening in our experiences. All right. How other people are seeing us. A lot of people are having third eye experiences with us. What kind of third eye experience are you giving to other people? Be mindful, be considerate of that. Why not be considerate of the kind of experience that you're giving other people? It's nothing wrong with that. This is your masculine energy. This is also your experience as well. So I like to give people really good experiences. I'm a Virgo. My son is in Virgo. So I like to make people feel good. Like that gets me going. That makes me happy. I love to help, I'm learning how to have boundaries with the helping because I have so many Virgo placements. It can be imbalanced because not only is my son in Virgo, my moon is also in Virgo. So the moon space deals with your instincts and intuition. And right now it's in Aquarius. We might have moved from Aquarius to Pisces at this point. What's today? Today's the 6th. Oh no, we're still in Aquarius in the 6th house. Cool. So we're still in Aquarius with our intuition and our instincts, coming back into that energy of Asar being one with all. Asar was in alignment with your moja. We did this whole root chakra story. And then go back to my Sunday service. I really got into Aquarius energy. Oh, I love divine alignments. And then I'm doing this on the Aquarius moon. Get it, sunshine. But yeah, your feminine energy, how you interact with feminine energy, where you've been, your mind and your heart, all of that sitting in the Aquarius energy, knowledge of self, knowledge to be one with all. So, meditate on that. Meditate on that tonight. How can you be of service? How can you apply that in your 6th house, your wellness and your daily routine? What helps me that can also help you? Okay, how can I keep these scales balanced to where I'm not overburdening myself and stuff like that, but I'm still doing, the purpose of things. And then of course on the Vedic scale, the sun is still in Gemini. So the experiences is in your community, it's in your invocation capabilities. It's also check your technology. You guys, your technology is really listening to y'all. Your technology has been responding to you faster than ever. I set up Square on my phone, and then as soon as I went on the app, they played the Square commercial. Like the technology is getting better with being tapped in with you. You're getting better with being tapped into other people, places, things, ideas, and experiences. Numbers are starting to pop up to you, synchronizing. People are starting to look familiar. Deja vu is happening a lot. You're just being way more sensitive with your external self because it's that alignment, happening with the sun and the moon. The sun is in Cancer. So that brings a feminine covering over the sun. And mind you, just because it's in the tropical Cancer, but it's not going to enter the Vedic John until next week, right? July 20th, July 19th, July 20th. So no, July 17th. July 17th is when the sun will enter Cancer constellation. So, then we have another 30 some odd days of that sun being in alignment. And now it's in your vibrations. For like 2 days, it'll be locked into your tropical and your Vedic, which will be really fun. 7/17, mark that date, y'all. 7/17 to like what, 7/20? Yeah, because we enter Gemini. I mean, we enter Leo like 7/21, 7/22. So yeah, from 7/17 up until the sun enters the Vedic Leo, you really got a nice tap in with the sun in your moja. Those are really good times to do some meditation, do your work. Do your work, y'all. That's some good dates. I gave y'all a few good dates during this planetary forecast. You know what I'm saying? I gave y'all some coins. Tap into them coins and watch your abundance come. It works for me. I'm just relaying the message. Now on the feminine side, we talked about the sun. Juno is here. Juno is the energy associated with Hera, where you tap into what you actually need in a bond or a contract or a relationship in order for you to stay in it and feel fulfilled. So that's sitting in your third eye. A lot of relationships that used to do it for you don't do it for you no more. The subconscious is starting to remove you from those people, places, and things. It's not doing for you. Like, it's getting louder to the point where it's like, damn, I really can't ignore myself no more. That's wild. No, you can't. You're not supposed to. You never were supposed to. So like, stop. And we talked about Mercury being up here too. So just a lot of awareness, a lot of thought processes, going through different patterns. We don't have a Mercury retrograde until August 23rd. So, you got some time to breathe and just deal with these outer planet retrogrades and Venus. So, just let yourself have this next like 30 some odd days without, repeating the degrees of your thought process, and really like tap into this Cancer energy, the Cancer experience. Pay attention, dissect the different experiences that you're having and how this is in alignment with your third eye, which is your auric energy. And your aura is the response to your physical 6 chakras. So if your physical 6 chakras are not where they need to be, and they're not rooted in the cosmos, and they're not in alignment with Maya, and you're not taking power over your solar plexus, and you're still walking around like there's some oppressor with their invisible foot on your neck, and everybody's against you, and yeah, that auric energy gonna be wild, and you're gonna be attracting some crazy people, places, things, situations. Your timeline on the internet is gonna show you gloom and doom. Alex Jones gonna be all over the place. People gonna be selling you these end of the world packages that you gotta buy for $22.22 and 22 cents. And you need to buy within the next 30 days because we're about to go back into separation, and you gonna die and stuff. If you survive the first one, what makes you think you're not gonna survive the next one? You don't know who you are by now. You don't know what to do by now. Put that shit in your solar plexus. You know that wisdom is sitting there. Obatala don't play. All right. And then in the third eye, on the Leo side of things, where the courage and discipline and the coordination and balance that you get from, your upper self. It's a little party happening there. We got Lilith there. So a lot of triggers to your third eye, basically complementing what I just said. You're going to have a lot of simulations that's reflecting what's going on in the inside. You're literally in the year of 7 of attracting your village. Where is your auric energy? Because that's letting you know what kind of village you're about to attract. Be mindful of your auric. I love where my auric energy is. Now that I'm sitting here talking to y'all, thinking about it, the kind of people I've been attracting have been amazing. I'm glad I recalibrated myself. Palace is also sitting here. Your genius-like qualities that you keep overlooking about yourself, they're going to come into play. You might, I've attracted people that are very comfortable with telling my business. Where I'm last night I was on the podcast and I was not talking about my skills. I was in my modest realm because I was just fangirling and just being grateful to be in the room. But my co-host was like, you're going to tell them about the Cosmic Nobody's Convention. You're going to tell them about the music. You're going to tell them about da-da-da-da. Don't forget to tell them again, girl. So those at that time last night, they were my palace. They were reminding me of my genius-like qualities. I keep overlooking it myself when I'm in the presence of people that should probably know about my genius-like qualities. I don't know. I freeze and I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't talk about myself. I just start splurting out facts and dialogue, and I just feel weird stopping the dialogue on that to say, oh, by the way, I'm this person. I don't know. It just feels weird. I don't know. I don't know. I'm working on it. I don't know. My Leo's rising, but my Leo's rising in retrograde. My South Node is in Leo. I don't know what board I signed up for on this space. Like, I feel like I did the extra hard board. Like, yeah, I can do everything at one time. I got this. Put that shit in retrograde, but also put it as my rising and make it something I'm supposed to leave, but also put it in my Jupiter where I get my generosity from. Watch me fuck it up. Why did I sign myself up for that? I don't know, but we're gonna see how it goes. I bet you I still fuck it up though. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna eat that shit up. No crumbs. But it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm gonna say I'm not having fun. I'm having the time of my life. But it's not easy. It's not an easy time of my life compared to the last time I was here. It was great there. I feel like the last time I was here, Earth was just so much better. I don't know what the fuck y'all was doing in our absence. This is wild. It's ghetto down here now. Anyway, we back and we here to babysit and clean shit up. And Mars is here to motivate us to do that. Venus is also here giving us our vibrations in Leo. So as you start doing your third eye work and you start really tapping into your third eye experiences and stuff like that, it's going to come out in your vibration. We talked about Venus being in the tropical and Vedic third eye. So very exciting alignments for y'all. You know, really tap into your simulation. That's what I've been doing for a lot of y'all draconic chart readings. I've been tapping y'all into y'all simulation so y'all can see how powerful y'all are, because that's the whole point. So y'all know the crown chakra no longer deals with physical body. Now we're dealing with your auric self. So once you have all the physical chakras in alignment, the ultimate outcome is the simulation that you find yourself in. So if your self-esteem is low and you lack boundaries, yes, you're going to be attracting a whole bunch of people taking advantage of you. I know. I love so hard. Why don't people love the way I do? Girl, you don't got no boundaries, bro. You don't have no boundaries. It's not about loving hard. It's about having labels and knowing what you can do with some people, you can't do with other people, and being at peace with that. Also learning how to pour back into yourself, because while you over here pouring into them, you've been ignoring your health, you've been ignoring your mentality, you've been ignoring your knowledge levels, your physical health and all that stuff like that, trying to be everything to somebody else. You have been nothing to yourself. And those are the lessons you're supposed to be learning. You don't love her, baby. You don't know how to love correctly. That's your problem. Okay? I don't know who needed to hear that, but that's what came out. But yes, I think there's a misconception that a lot of people come up to. Like, I love hard. No, you need boundaries and discipline and order. Oh, but I want to have fun. I'm enjoying the human experience. I'm just human. I'm only an animal. I'm only a man. This is what men do. And this is how men are supposed to be. And this is how men have historically been. Why do you want to go back to history? When have we been? How many times have we been historically correct? We were going to war back then and capturing each other and enslaving each other back then. That's how we ended up here. Y'all love to take credit for shit and then act like nothing bad came out of it. Oh, we started civilization. Da, 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 da. And what did you do to have it? You killed people, you enslaved people, and you raped women. You enslaved children. You burnt books. You did that. And you taught other people how to do that. And look at where we are now because of that. So that's nothing to be fucking proud of. Those aren't periods of time to go back to and say, oh, we're going to be that again. That's dumb. That makes no sense. It's time to be anew, my new beings. The fuck? What are y'all talking about? We want to go back and reiterate all the shit we fucked up at, because that's when we felt good about us on our end. And you only talking about how you felt good on your animal spirit because all you had was a whole bunch of physical shit. Yeah, you had beautiful art, paintings and buildings and books and stuff. That's all external human shit. Where was you at in alignment with spirituality? Y'all was demonizing it, misrepresenting it, and misusing it. You were using it for violence, to steal things. I'm not wrong. Do your history if you think I'm wrong. So we just experienced the summer solstice, and that's fun. Not just. It's been like 2.5 weeks now or so. But this is what it looks like when the solstices are coming. That's what it looked like. No, nice little alignment on the ecliptical line. Oh, and then we had a nice alignment of planets on the 17th when we had the shift. That's when the sun entered Cancer constellation. And then we had the line, and that was pretty. Had some globular clusters in alignment with it too. Always a good time. That looks like it's Pleiades because this over here is Taurus constellation. So we started July 3rd. Now we're going to get into the weekly planetary forecast. This is where I give you guys the brief thing that I do in the astrological update. Okay. So we started July 3rd with the full moon. That full moon was in Aries, that full moon was in Capricorn. Excuse me. I'm looking at 3 papers at the same time. Let me get my papers on. Because I know for a fact we was in Capricorn moon. That was the buck moon. That's when we get the bucks get their antlers in this season or whatever. Now being in this moon of celebration, we've reached a full point. Now you're in that Capricorn goat energy, right? You're in that space of like building, creating, manifesting, tapping into your cardinal spirit and leading in that space of building and manifestation, really getting those things done. And we're applying that to our 5th house of dramatics and our heart chakras, letting your vibrations manifest what you need. We just talked about all that stuff that was going on in your heart chakra, right? So allow your heart chakra to tap into that Capricorn. What did your heart need? Where were your heart placements at? The 5th house was being ruled by Sagittarian energy, during the full moon. So it was about expanding your philosophies and your mindset. So if you usually don't let yourself rest, like you're like me, then your moon was probably like mine, was telling me to go sit my ass down somewhere. And I fought it a little bit, but eventually I sat down. The full moon was at 7:39 a.m. and astronomically speaking, that's when the earth is between the sun and the moon. The activity of the Capricornids began, and that's the meteor shower coming from the Capricornus constellation, and they move at about 5 an hour. Juno and Tejas posterior were in conjunction at 3:01. Juno was 7.7 degrees south. Tejas posterior is a star in the Gemini constellation. It's located at the back foot of the Gemini constellation. This star gives off the energy of like Mercury and Venus, and so with Juno, which is that energy of what you need in a bond or a relationship, sitting in that energy of like health, goodwill, a little bougie energy right there. You probably felt your nose sticking up in some of those bonds and stuff that you in, like, I don't like that. I don't want to do that no more. I don't want never. That's what that is. That's what Juno and Tejas look like. Now, the moon and Albalda were in conjunction at 2:29 p.m. The moon was 6.6 degrees south. Now, Albalda is a star in the Sagittarius constellation. So even though we were in the Capricorn zodiac energy, we were still in the Sagittarius constellation. So we were expanding our philosophies in the realm. This is good for building, harvest, and gain. So we had like a double build-up energy going on, one in fire, one in earth on our moon. So listen, my spellcasters out there, if y'all was out here there focusing and creating things, y'all did it. It's coming. Be patient. The moon was also at aphelion, which is the furthest point from the earth with a 90-degree offering. But perigee happened the next day, which is the moon's closest position to earth. That happened the next day at 7:09 p.m. And that's why the full moon looks so close. That's also why you see in the orangey moon. The moon usually turns like an orange color when it's in the Sagittarius and Scorpius constellations. Also Libra too. Libra has some orange reddish kind of stars as well. Also on the full moon, for those of you, my telescopers, you would have been able to see the crater Tycho and the Sea of Serenity on the moon as well. Hold on, it's somewhere. There you go. And there's like little craters that the Sea of Serenity like flows into as well that surround the moon. So you would have been able to see all these fun things on the moon when it was like super close. Actually, you could kind of see those now. You could even have seen those in the daytime because the moon was so fucking close. It was cool. On July 4th, we were at a 99% wanting gibbous moon, 99 being that number of retribution, karmic endings, that Babalao energy. I told y'all, listen, the Oya not here to play. Oya is not here to play. This was the wanting gibbous moon is the moon of retribution. So we had a 99% wanting gibbous moon of retribution, clearing your space, getting rid of distraction, asking yourself what tangible items no longer serve you and what's actually getting in the way. The moon rising at 10:12 p.m. and setting at 6:28 a.m. Being in the Capricorn energy with that goal, manifestation, 5th house, Sag, we went over that. Sun rising at 5:35 and setting at 8:31. The moon and Pluto were at minimal angle. So we had the moon and Oya doing the damn thing. Listen, The 4th of July was a divine alignment, especially if y'all was. I played my juju music on the 4th of July. I was not here to play. I was really manifesting my Oya spirit. You know, I don't give a fuck about this country. But for those of you guys who spent your day eating hot dogs and hamburgers and watching fireworks and joining in on the ritual of America, you were on the wrong side of the fence according to Sunshine. You were not on my side. You engaged in their rituals on a 99% Juan and gibbous moon. Come on now. Stop playing. Anyway. The moon and Pluto were at minimal angle at 12:44 p.m. The moon was 2.6 degrees south. Conjunction at 12:05 p.m. The moon was 2.6 degrees south. And we were able to observe that at 3:34 a.m. with a 6.7 degree southwest separation. The north pole of the moon was tipped into view at 3:09 p.m. The moon was the smallest distance to the Earth at 7:09 p.m. And Cassiopeia was located north-northeast, rising upright for my sky watchers. And above her was the constellation King Cepheus. That's her husband. You know, he looked blocky and shit, but he's rising above her. And Cassiopeia brings in the summer sky. We'll start dealing with the summer triangle. Now, today's the 6th. Okay, so July 5th, we had the 96% Juan and gibbous moon, the moon rising at 10:51 p.m. and setting at 7:48 a.m. We were now moving into the Aquarian energy, the energy of knowing and being one with all, implying that into our 6th house, daily routines of health and wellness. So the sun rose at 5:36 a.m. and set at 8:31 p.m. Sagittarian energy was opposite the sun at 10:24 p.m. So the spotlight was on that 9th house energy, all the 9th house planets, all that open Basila, the whole sacral chakra, all that stuff was on the spotlight last night. If y'all felt it. Also, Jupiter's moons were visible for my telescopers out there. Callisto was sitting on the further west, then it was Ganymede, then Europa, and then Lo on the east. So, you know, you guys would have been able to see the moons. Now today we started the day off at a 90% Juan and gibbous moon, still in moon of retribution. The moon rising at 11:23 and setting at 9:08. We're still in that Aquarius energy of knowing, detaching, social revolutionary innovation energy, applying it to our daily routines. The sun rose this morning at 5:36 a.m. and will be setting at 8:31 p.m. Now today the moon in Deneb El Jodi was in conjunction at 1:45 a.m. The moon was 3.2 degrees south. Minimal angle at 5:33 a.m. The moon was 2.7 degrees south-southeast, and we were able to observe that at 4:43 a.m. with a 2.8 degrees south-southeast separation. Now, Deneb El Jodi is a star in the Capricorn constellation. This is located at the tail of the goat. And this rules over your blood vessels and your nerve connections. Remember, I told y'all about that. Your Olukun, your Neptune Piscean energy is a big thing. But Deneb El Jodi gives off the energy of Saturn and Jupiter. This is a big business star, tapping into, you know, your pinnacles and stuff like that. Business ideas on the forefront, you know, this morning, midnight hour-ish, early in the morning when you rose. In fact, that's funny because I did wake up at 5 a.m. and I had to go to Walmart. Then I went to the post office. I had a very early day, so I'll probably be asleep very early tonight. The sun is also the furthest distance to the earth at 11:36 a.m., which is wild because it's hot as shit. The moon and Saturn are in conjunction at 9:48 p.m. The moon will be 3.6 degrees south. We're still in the energy of Babalao, still, you know, bringing retribution, okay? Still, you know, going over your discipline and your order. Fix your roots and what they're rooted in. Saturn's moon Titan is visible. So, Titan, the Titans are good stories to get into, especially if you're going to get into them in the aboriginal sense of things. That's cool. So July 7th, we're going to start the day off at an 82% Juan and gibbous moon. The moon rising at 11:50 p.m. and setting at 10:26 a.m. We'll be in the Piscean zodiac energy. So now we're moving to our sacral chakra, into the space of our subconscious self, you know, our dreams and secrets and all things intangible of self, and we're applying that to the 7th house, which is our Oba scale. So is your spirituality, is your subconscious in balance? That's going to be the question here. You know, learn more about your subconscious self, your spiritual self. Learn more here about your neurons and your mental state, your psychological state. I can't talk. Why are you tying my tongue? The sun rising at 5:37 a.m. be setting at 8:31 p.m. Now, the moon in Saturn is at minimal angle at 12:31 a.m. The moon will be 3.3 degrees south-southeast. Saturn, we talked about Babalao and the moon doing its thing. You know, the moon is in the root chakra right now, shining its light down there. Flashlights on the root chakra the rest of this week. Mercury and Castor in conjunction. So that makes today even more divine alignment, because the moon is in alignment with our root chakra at this time, which is bringing us back to Sunday school with the third eye energy. And I was talking about Aquarius, which is the root chakra. Okay, cool. I'll take it. Okay, so Mercury and Castor in conjunction at 12:36 a.m. Mercury is 8.4 degrees south. Castor is the star in the Gemini constellation. This is the mortal twin. This gives off the energy of Mercury, which is honor, intellect, and learning. So to have Mercury in that space, definitely, tapping into some books, learning stuff, watching my planetary forecast, watching a planetary forecast by a Mercurian in the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Vesta, and Gemini. That is tapping into the moon and Mercury and Castor. That is definitely tapping into that energy. So kudos to y'all for being in alignment. I'm here for you. The comet Atlas C 2023 E1 1028 is at max brightness. Mercury and Pollux are also at minimal angle at 7:55 p.m. Mercury will be 4.9 degrees south. Pollux is the immortal twin. Now we're coming into the space of Mars energy, which is hubris, violence, being brave, and rash. So you have like that motivation. Be mindful to my fire babies and my air babies out here. What your dialect and how you react when you're angry. Mars and Regulus are 2 degrees apart, so you have a bit of a conjunction and minimal angle happening there. Your motivation in alignment with Regulus. Regulus is the star in the Leo constellation. So this, Mars being motivation, Regulus being the energy of like the little king and manifestation. So circulating your abundance here in your solar plexus chakra is on the way. Now, asteroid 15 Eunomia is opposite at 4 p.m. in Sagittarius constellation. So if you want to catch that asteroid, that'll be the day to do it. This is the path of the moon from the July 7th to the July 8th. We're going to be starting the day off at a 72% wanting gibbous moon on July 8th. There is no set rising time, but the setting time is at 11:39 a.m. We are in the Piscean zodiac energy with it, bringing us back into our subconscious dreams and secrets and things. We are applying it to our 8th house. So now that you had that 7th house and you paid attention to the scales in your Neptune, now you're going to create transformation in your Neptune, okay? The sun rising at 5:37 a.m. will be setting at 8:30 p.m. The moon and Neptune are at minimal angle. More. Now the moon is rising up into the sacral chakra. The moon had its time in the root. Now we're rising up to the sacral. Moon and Neptune minimal angle at 12:56 p.m. The moon will be 1.7 degrees south-southeast conjunction at 11:38 a.m. with the moon 2 degrees south, and we'll be able to observe that at 4:06 a.m. with a 5.1 degrees southwest separation. Coming back to Mercury, our throat chakra, that's sitting in the Gemini constellation. It's still around Pollux, but yesterday, the 7th, was at minimal angle. Now it's in conjunction at 5:24 a.m. Mercury is at 5 degrees south, and basically just helping your communication skills going along the way. Just be mindful of how you speak when you're triggered into that angry space, because Pollux deals more so with that hubris and the ego energy, and I'm saying it all because I think I know it all, blah, blah, blah. Be mindful of that. Albalda is opposite the sun at 3:30 p.m. This is the best visibility of the year. Venus is entering the Leo constellation at 2:30 p.m. on July 8th, and then Mercury is entering the Cancer constellation at 1:11 p.m. And I'm talking about Eastern Standard Time. I'm on the East Coast, y'all. So July 8th is a big day for Vedic transits, all right? So be mindful of Venus and Mercury in your chart on your transit. Actually, Venus is about to open up I'm about to have my Venus return on my Vedic chart. That's curt. My Vedic chart, my Venus is in Leo. On July 9th, we have the 61% wanting gibbous moon, the moon rising at 12:15 a.m. and setting at 12:50 p.m. We are now in the new beginnings, Aries energy, 8th house of Pisces vibe. So transformation to our solar plexus chakra on the internal side. The sun rising at 5:58 a.m. and setting at 8:30 p.m. Venus will reach the max brightness at 1:41 p.m. No, you will not be able to see with the naked eye for obvious reasons. The last quarter moon will be at 9:49 p.m. This is best visible before the sunrise. And so the last quarter moon, aka the third quarter moon, is the moon of transition. So like at this time, what are your goals? What are some changes that you're making to achieve them? Use the lessons that you got in your past, patterns to further yourself forward. And then Mars and Regulus will be in conjunction at 3:44 a.m. Mars will be 0.7 degrees north, bringing motivation and circulation to your abundance. And I love it here. Now we get into July 10th. July 10th, we start off the day at a 49% last quarter moon. We're still in that space of, transitioning into the crescent energy, because the waning gibbous is when we're getting rid of physical things. The crescent is always non-physical. All right, because it's getting so skinny, it's barely there. So think intangible things are now going away now. Spiritual things, mentalities, and all of those shit things should have been coming to the forefront of the mind when the moon was in the root chakra and rising up to the sacral chakra, and you being tapped into the third eye experience with your Venusian energy. You should have been in alignment with, preparing yourself for the intangible things that it's time to wand off. So the sun rising at 5:39 a.m. and setting at 8:30 p.m. We talked about Mars and Regulus, minimal angle at 149. Mars will be 0.6 degrees northeast observed at 9:19. That's the time. My birthday is 9:19. With a 0.7 northeast separation. The moon will reach 0 latitude and begin ascending from the ecliptical at 9:22 p.m. Mars is going to enter the Virgo zodiac at 7:50 a.m. Pallas is going to enter the Virgo zodiac at 3 a.m. So you have that Mars and Pallas circulating from Leo to Virgo on the zodiac scales. Coming from your third eye down into your ability to invoke. That transition is going to be fire. If you up at 3 a.m. or 3 a.m. to that 8 a.m. John, do some invocation. That's going to be fun. The Great Peacock Globular Cluster will be at its highest point in the sky at midnight on July 10th. Now, July 11th, we're at a 39% waning crescent moon. The moon rising at 1:03 a.m. and setting at 3:08 p.m. Now we're in the waning crescent moon. We're in the moon of cleansing, the last phase of the cycle, going inward, reflecting, and planning. Okay. The east side of the moon, Mare Crisium, is tipped into view, and then Mercury will be entering the Leo zodiac. So we got a lot of transits happening. Lots and lots of transits happening. Your so as your Mars and Pallas come from the third eye to your throat is moving into your third eye. Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's invocation time. 7-11 is invocation time. You hear me? 7-10 and 7-11, y'all. July 12th, we're starting the day off at a 29% waning crescent moon. The moon rising at 1:30 a.m. and setting at 4:16 p.m. We are in the Taurus zodiac energy with this. So our moon being in that space of possessions and self-esteem, compassion, your heart chakra, your vibrations, y'all. We talked about that extensively. And we're in the 9th house with the heart chakra at that time. So we are expanding our philosophies and mindsets. That Obatala, that sacral chakra energy is undergoing those new beginnings on your vibration. Sunrise at 5:40 a.m., be setting at 8:29 p.m. The moon and Jupiter will be at minimal angle at 5:25 p.m. The moon will be 1.6 degrees northeast. Conjunction at 6:08 p.m. The moon will be 1.6 north. We'll be able to observe that at 1:45 a.m. with a 5.9 degrees northeast separation. Obatala brings on that generosity. The moon is bringing the internal energy. Go ahead and tap into that knowledge there, because that's definitely bringing the intuitive space into your lifespan knowledge. So you're bringing the knowledge of man, the natural human law, natural law, and universal law can combine there. Activity of Delta Aquarius, which is a meteor shower from the Aquarius constellation, is activated, and this is at 16 an hour. They move 16 an hour. So don't forget the Capricornus 1 at 5 an hour, Aquarius 16 an hour. Still giving y'all the root chakra. Then I tell you, Babalao and Sango, we are focused. That is what the third eye is focused on this season, is the root chakra, uprooting a lot of this shit. Okay. The evening visibility of Mercury begins, and then the comet 185P Petru passes perihelion, which is the closest approach to the sun. And what the comets do is they have all the ancient, materials from the beginning of the solar system. So by it passing over the sun, imagine it passing over your Odomila, your masculine third eye energy. And we just talked about Mercury going in Odomila, Leo energy. So let that comet invoke your throat chakra. Do some free writing, some downloading, be inspired. July 13th, we're starting the day off at a 20% waning crescent moon. The moon rising at 2:01 a.m. and will be setting at 5:23 p.m. We are in the Taurus zodiac energy with it. In the 10th house ruled by Taurus, the sun rises 5:41 a.m. and setting at 8:28 p.m. Pallas and Regulus will be at minimal angle at 1:31 a.m. Pallas will be 3.1 degrees south. Conjunction at 9:44 a.m. Pallas will be 3.1 degrees south. We talked about Pallas being the genius qualities that you overlook, and Regulus being your space of abundance. So you'll feel some business ideals come into your space on the day of 13. 13 being in alignment with the moon, feminine phases. Moon phases 13. 13 is always missing that 1 into 14, but we still recognize a lot into the 13 and 13 colonies and things. But yeah, don't walk away from those opportunities that come around you this time. You're overlooking your qualities that they see in you, and they're trying to bring them out in you. Let them. The moon and Pleiades the moon and Pleiades at 1:50 a.m. will be in conjunction. The moon will be 2.5 degrees south, minimal angle at 3:41 a.m. The moon will be 2.3 degrees south southeast, and they'll be visible at those respective times. Pleiades is a star cluster in the Taurian constellation that deals with how you deal with your wounds. A lot of insight there in that realm. So a lot of those genius like qualities you've been overlooking is because you were wounded at some point in time in your life. Somebody told you that those things weren't good enough, those things weren't valuable, whatever, and that's probably what made them go on the shelf to begin with. Take them shits off and deal with those wounds accordingly. Put your middle finger up to those people that told you that didn't amount to much, because it means a lot. Otherwise, God wouldn't give it to you. What the fuck? July 14th, we're starting the day off with a 13% waning crescent moon, the moon rising at 2:38 a.m. and setting at 6:27 p.m. We are in the Gemini zodiac energy with it, bringing us to communication and communicate. And we're being successful in that realm. 10th house. Who are you in the community? Coming back to the conversation, what do you provide to the village? What vibration are you giving off to attract the village that you're attracting? You know, that's the 10th house energy you're giving off. The sun rising at 5:42 a.m., setting at 8:28 p.m. The moon and Aldebaran will be in conjunction at 12:19 a.m. The moon will be 8 degrees north. Aldebaran is a star in the I cannot wait to drink some ginger when I get off of this Joan. This is the brightest star in the Taurus constellation. It's located in the eye of the Taurus. Now, this is the star that follows behind the Pleiades cluster. So after you got done dealing with the wounds and stuff like that, now you're dealing with the courage and being able to do like large undertakings. Whenever this star was in alignment with certain planets, especially Mars, there was a large political undertaking going on. And, the beginning of ending of empires and stuff like that. But right now we have, this energy here. In alignment with it, Aldebaran. And then the AM visibility of Orion, which I've been talking heavily about with the 14 colonies and the 14 stars and the 14 pyramids and temples built underneath the 14 stars. Mercury and Persephone will be in conjunction at 9:44 p.m. Mercury will be 0.5 degrees north, and minimal angle will occur at 11:38 p.m. Mercury will be 0.5 degrees northeast. Occultation will take place. Occultation is like an eclipse, but without the sun and moon. It's with other celestial beings. So instead of it being called eclipse, it's called an occultation. So Persephone is a star in the Cancer constellation. This is located at the head of the eye. The head of the crab, and it rules the right eye. It gives off the energy of Mars and Moon, which can be disease and disgrace, but also adventure. You're definitely tapping into the energy of the ancestors. So at this point in time, what was that, July 14th, you could definitely tap into the energy of the ancestors at this time for invocation with that invocation planet and that Persephone. You're literally in the eye of Cancer. Like, the hell, you better talk. And just to remind you of the time, it's 9:44 and 11:38. Now, July 15th, 7% waning crescent moon, the moon rising at 3:22 a.m. will be setting at 7:25 p.m. We are in the Gemini zodiac energy with it still in the 10th house of Taurus. Be mindful of the words you speak, y'all. We're wanting in our Gemini too. So you might find yourself getting rid of people, places, things in your community. Talking about neighbors, for immediate family, like first cousins, aunts and uncles, siblings and stuff like that. Your neighborhood and stuff like that. Sun rising at 5:42 a.m. and setting at 8:27 p.m. The best visibility of Earth shine on the moon right before the sunrise. So it'll appear like a full moon in the daytime, but that's not really what's happening. The comet 213P Van Ness will be at its maximum brightness at 6 a.m. The Pisces Austronauts, which is a meteor shower in the Pisces constellation, will reach its max activity. Oh, no, we'll start on the 15th, but its max activity is on July 28th, and they're 5 hours. So don't forget, you got the Capricornus, you have the Austronauts, and you have the Ostrich from Aquarius. So you got Aquarius, Pisces, and Capricorn meteor showers all going on at the same time. Are you for real? But all those things are going on at the same time in the cosmos. So you can check those meteor showers. Meteor showers rain down all of the minerals you need from those chakras. So I said Aquarius and Capricorn are the root chakras, and then the Pisces, that's the sacral chakra. So those three, we talked about the root chakra and sacral chakra like this whole time. Most of the time, this seems to be the vibe that we're feeling this summer. This is the area that we're focusing on, which is a divine alignment, because I'm working on the root chakra in the intentional community that I'm trying to build. Oh, yo, I really be in alignment and don't be knowing it until moments like this. That is cool. I love me and my experiences. But yeah, that's happening. So Juno will also be the furthest distance to the Earth at 1:12 p.m. Max north declination of the moon will be at 10:38 p.m. The moon and Teja posterior are in conjunction at 11:48 p.m. The moon will be 4.5 degrees north, minimal angle at 11:50 p.m. The moon will be 4.5 degrees north, and notice will not be visible for obvious reasons. Teja posterior, we talked about it, is in the Gemini constellation, located at the back foot, and this is gives off the energy of Mercury and Venus. So it's kind of like putting your nose up on your divine feminine. She's putting her nose up to some people, places, and things you've been putting up with. So stop doing that. This July 12th with the moon creating, look at the moon, just all up in the mix. All up in the mix. It's a nice line with Uranus and Jupiter in the moon for my spellcasters out there. You know, nice combination of different things going on in the sky. Wednesday, July 12th, you know, you got the moon towards Uranus out here. Got that nice little Pleiades cluster up there. The moon is in, you know, realms with Pleiades. You know, this is the globular cluster. It's very pretty at nighttime. If you ever seen that cluster of stars, like, what is that? Yeah, that's what that is. That's what you can see on the 13th. These are Saturn and Saturn's moons, and I told you Titan will be visible soon. Tap into the history of the Titans. It's very interesting, especially when you get into the aboriginal relations of it all, and then bring yourself to the present of the colonized story, and it makes a lot of stuff make sense, because as our deities go through their stories, we're going through ours. Like, everything is synonymous. It's amazing. Even nature is synonymous with what's going on. And then, okay, so now we're making ourselves to the 17th. So July 16th, we start the day off with a 3% waning crescent moon. The moon rising at 4:13 a.m. and setting at 8:15 p.m. We are in the Cancer zodiac energy with it in the 11th house. So now we're going into our Yemoja. The moon is settling into its home space. We're going to have a Cancer new moon, which is very exciting, you know, because we had the full moon was in the root chakra, and the moon went through all the chakras and made its way back into its home space in your third eye chakra. So it's this divine alignment bringing Asara back to Yemoja. Which, if you get into the story of the Orishas, Yemoja is Asara's mother, and aligning with the knowledge of Yemoja, which is Mayat, and bringing it down into, you know, the indwelling place of Asar will assist you as you tap into your Babalao, which is when you start tapping into those inner child experiences and the roots of yourself and the roots of your lineage and the roots of your culture and the roots of, you know, your community and so on and so forth. So anyway, coming back. So I said the sunrise at 5:43 a.m. set at 8:26 p.m. The Pluto will reach maximum brightness at 5:42 p.m. Venus and Regulus will be at minimal angle at 10:36 a.m. Venus will be 3.5 degrees west southwest. Observe at 9:06 p.m. with a 3.5 degree west southwest separation. We talked about Regulus being that star in the Leo constellation, bringing on the riches. So let your vibration bring on the riches on the 16th, y'all. Now, July 17th, we are officially at the new moon, 0% waxing crescent moon. So we're at a 0% with the removal of things. Now, what happens is the next day we'll be at a 0% in the waxing on building on things. So on the 17th is the new moon of removal. On the 18th, it's the new moon of building. Okay. So let's come back to the 17th. The moon rising at 5:11 a.m. and setting at 8:57 p.m. We are in the Cancer zodiac energy with it in the 11th house, ruled by Gemini energy. So, you know, still going into our third eye, Yemoja energy, tapping into your soul purpose, your humanitarian purposes, and what you are contributing to your community, what you're invoking for the community. The sun rising at 5:44 a.m. and setting at 8:26 p.m. The moon and Castor will be in conjunction at 6:09 a.m. It's always so much noise. The moon and Castor will be in conjunction at 6:09 a.m. The moon is 5.6 degrees south. It's those dumbass bikes. Everybody want to ride. The moon and Cancer in conjunction at 6:09 a.m. The moon is 5.7 degrees south. Minimal angle at 6:16 a.m. The moon will be 5.7 degrees south. And no, this will not be visible. Mind you, even though we are in the Cancer zodiac, we're still in the Gemini constellation. So what's happening is the moon is going to be near Castor and Pollux this evening, being at Pollux at 11:10 a.m. and the moon being 1.9 degrees south, conjunction at 11:58 a.m. with the moon being 1.9 degrees south. So having those two, the moon is guiding through the Gemini twins, the community, third eye being in alignment with the community through and through. The activity of the Perseids begin, which comes from the Perseus constellation, and the maximum activity of that meteor shower is on August 13th at 100 an hour. So that meteor shower is a big one. You want to catch that one. The new moon will be at 2:32 p.m. The moon is between the sun and the earth. The sun enters the Cancer constellation at 5:45 p.m. It'll be at 30 degrees Gemini. So July 17th is a really dope day for the Perseids meteor shower, the new moon, and then the sun entering Cancer constellation. So now you'll have the moon and the sun in that Cancer constellation energy simultaneously, because we're still kind of in that eclipse energy. I won't lie to you, still in that eclipse energy. Now, July 18th, we're at a 0% waxing crescent moon. So now we're at the ground zero of building, because waxing crescent is about building, and waxing crescent is about building the intangible. We're still in intangible. This is the moon of regeneration. Positive changes are taking form. This is the first phase after the new moon. We're going to sort through our confusing our emotions and set our mind goals, manifest intentions, mindsets, all the things inward. And we're doing that in Leo. So the simulation is going to reflect what we did inward in the 12th house energy, which is dealing with our subconscious, Akashic records and stuff like that. That's a good day for tapping into self before you start building. Build that foundation on a positive subconscious, third eye balance. The sun rising at 5:45 a.m. and setting at 8:25 p.m. The south pole of the moon is tipped into view at 12:24 a.m. Vesta, which is our space of passion, and Aldebaran will be minimal angle at 1:24 a.m. Vesta will be 1 degrees north, conjunction at 10:53 a.m. with Vesta 1 degree north. And we'll be able to observe that at 3:24 a.m. with a 1 degree north separation. And we talked about Aldebaran a little bit, earlier, because we had some, alignments with that star then. But this is the brightest star in the Taurus constellation. Is located at the eye of the Taurus, and it's the follower of Pleiades. But it's like, once you deal with Pleiades and dealing with the wounds and stuff, now the power and encouragement of the eye of the bull is coming into play, and you'll feel that in your third eye as your moja aligns with that. The evening visibility of the moon is here. Again, the moon returns on the 18th. The moon and Mercury will also have minimal angle at 5:05 a.m. The moon will be 2.8 degrees north, conjunction at 4:10 a.m. The moon will be 2.9 degrees north, and we'll be able to observe that at 9:05 p.m. with a 5.5 northwest separation. So July 18th is a good day for downloads. Wow, July 17th is a good day for uploads. You want to download on the 18th and set the foundation for the rest of your waxing experience. All right. And that's really exciting. I like what's going on in the cosmos. So what do we have to look forward to? I talked about all the constellation entrances. We talked about Mercury retrograde. It's not until August 23rd. Jupiter retrograde is not until September 4th. Everything else is here. Uranus will go into retrograde August 29th. Chiron goes into retrograde July 23rd. So we'll be repeating some degrees of our wounds in that Aries energy. Some of those wounds you've been overlooking and you don't want to touch. Yeah, you finna repeat some of them degrees that you thought you was about to get past with. Because that retrograde is all the way. Most of these retrogrades that's happening into the summer, they're just going to go all the way up into the New Year's. July. The fuck. My Leo is rising. That's my new year. December 31st is a nice reset for a lot of retrogrades. A lot of our summertime magic. And that's what's happening. Oh yeah, these are like little things going on. Moon getting near Cancer, Pluto being in opposition as Oya does his Thug Dizzle, and then we see our summer triangle rising in the summertime of the riches with Vega, Deneb, and Altair for my spellcasters out there. the moon being near Spica, which is our star in the Virgo constellation, one of the biggest constellations we have. The inner planets are gathering around in the Leo vibes. And, at one point in time, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo constellation were all one, and so in this space and time, you get to see how connected they are or have been. And these are different things to look over, look at going on in the skies. So that's what I have for you guys. I'm grateful that you guys tapped in. And for those of you guys who don't know, the Cosmic Nobody's Convention is this year, August 26, 2023. We're going to be hosting it in Willingboro, New Jersey. We're still looking for panelists for the Virgo Version Talk episode. That is our season finale episode. The theme is our historic leaders of today. We're answering questions such as what is a leader, who are historical leaders and the leaders of today, how have we supported or failed these leaders, and how can we support our leaders today. So if you're interested in being a panel, I believe slot 2 is completely full. Slot 3 is almost full. I have a couple people that I need to respond to me. Let me know what panel they're feeling for. But, for those of you guys interested, we do have some slots open there. We are looking for, if you would like to engage in the Flatter Battle workshop, or if you want to be in the battle, let me know. But this is it's a battle rap, but the goal is to uplift your opponent with your bars. I'll be going against Justice Galore as the main event for the Flatter Battle Championship belt. Then, of course, we got the Virgo Version Talk. We're looking for panelists. We're also looking for performances, because in between each quarter is going to be a performance. You get 15 to 20 minutes of a performance in between each discussion. So, you get a nice amount of performance time. We ask for positive, uplifting sounds only. It doesn't have to be rap or singing. It could also be poetry. You can also get up there and just speak on what it is you do and just information that you want the people to have. Those are all welcomed and encouraged. And then, of course, we have the Cosmic Nobody's Awards. So if you're interested in participating in the award announcements or performing during the different intermissions in between, please reach out. Also, throughout the event, we're going to have workshops and vendors. So if you're interested in hosting a workshop or being a vendor at the Cosmic Nobody's Convention, reach out to me. These are the different options you have to be a participant, or you could just show up and be a part of just being there. It's a very dope healing experience. And I'm very excited about this year, because usually it's the healers secluded off, and we just keep to ourselves and we heal each other, and that's fun. However, this year, we're going to be in the middle of Route 130. So the healers, I want y'all to really rest up. I have intentions on going camping that week prior to this event, because this is going to be a high energy event. You're going to have people from all facets of spirituality, religion, mindsets coming to your tables to challenge you. This is the ultimate challenge for my spiritualists and your workshops and your vending table and your ability to do whatever it is that you're going to do at the Cosmic Nobody's Convention. You hear me? You're going to be coming. This is the moment. This is the year of healing. And I love it, because the Cosmic Nobody's Convention, this is our 3rd year. So we're in our year of creativity here. So, you guys aligning with those certain energies is going to be a vibe. And then also Virgo Version Talk, we're in our mid-season. So if you guys are interested in being a guest on the show, these are episodes that we have coming up. Reach out. The next episode we have coming up is the powerful transformations of Pluto. So I'm excited about that. We're going to tap into the Pluto, all about Pluto, which is cool, because we just got done talking about Oya and all that stuff. If you would like a personal reading, astrological reading, I do group workshops, one-on-ones. I do energy awareness coaching if you would like ongoing, coaching and guidance. But I also do, one-time readings for you, whichever one you like. When I do on-time readings, I actually give y'all therapy minutes that you guys can utilize. You can cash in and still get a little bit of both. So if you get a reading, you get a little bit of both. You get the whole reading, but you get a little bit of the world of the energy awareness coaching and stuff. And you see how we really can get into it for you. And it might entice you to keep going with me. I would love to guide you in your spiritual journey. That's what I'm here to do. And then I have the Cosmic Nobody's University coming up. You guys are going to learn how to do what I do around the harvest moon time. I'm going to harvest those healers. And then the Cosmic Coven. Right now, I am building the root chakra up of my intentional community. Not my intentional community, our intentional community. So if you're interested in joining, please reach out. And these are the cosmos. And that's what I got for y'all today.
And I appreciate y'all tapping in with me and being in alignment with me during this long ass planetary forecast. The more I do these, the longer they're getting. I'm trying to make them shorter, but that's just not. It's just not. It's just not. And that's why I do the astrological updates. But if you want the full kit and caboodle, you tap into these. So thank y'all for tapping in with me. Peace, y'all.